Live from Jack Coffey Field in the Bronx, New York, Sports Channel presents college football as the Fordham Rams host the Columbia Lions. Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Lachlan. Along with me, former New York Jet and Fordham Ram, Kurt Sohn. Gary Sussman, also a part of today's broadcast crew. So happy that you could join us on this rainy, windswept afternoon. Tropical storm Danielle blew through this metropolitan area last night, dumped a lot of rain, and Kurt, Jack Coffey Field is soaked, and the weather conditions will play a factor in this afternoon's contest.
Absolutely, Matt. There's some standing water on the field right now, and it's going to be slippery conditions out there today.
All right, Columbia comes in off a loss last week in their season opener against Harvard. Final score was 27-20. For the Lions to get back on the winning track and pick up that first win of the season, there are a couple of factors to keep in mind.
Well, Coach Ray Tellier says that his team's got to play more physical. They can't be getting pushed around on the football field. He also thinks they need to find a running game after last week only posting 13 positive yards in the running game. He's hoping for a low-scoring game, so that his defense will come more into play and his special teams.
The star of that defense, and as it turned out last week, an offensive star also, Des Worthman. He scored 2 touchdowns from the running back spot, but he is really a strong defensive player.
Well, Des Worthman had 12 tackles last week versus Harvard. He had 184 tackles last season and 114 unassisted tackles. So this guy's a force to be reckoned with, and hopefully he's going to shut down Fordham's running attack for Columbia.
Fordham comes into the game at 0-2. They are out of the Patriot League play now, playing the Ivy League this afternoon. There are 3 things to keep in mind for the Rams if they're to come away with their first win of the season.
Well, Larry Glick seems to think that his team has to play with more emotion. He thinks that last week versus Colgate, they came out flat, and they need to get more excited about what they're doing. He also feels that he's got to control the running game more. He's got to control that clock, keep the ball with his offense, and give his defense a break. He also thinks that he's got to contain Columbia's quarterback, Andrzejewski. This guy, if he gets running around, is going to cause a lot of havoc for Fordham, and it's going to be a long day for them.
A man who's going to keep an eye on that Columbia QB is the middle linebacker for the Rams, Mark Blażewski.
Well, Mark Blażewski, number 56, has 29 tackles in 2 games. Last year he had 144 tackles. He's a 2-year captain, leader of this team. He is going to shut down Columbia's running game today for Fordham.
All right, that sets the scene for this afternoon's contest. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back to Jack Coffey Field for the opening kickoff in just a moment. Don't go away.
Fordham football is brought to you by Silvestri Carpets, exclusive distributor of the Ashley Carpet Collection, by the Fordham University Bookstore, more than just supplies, by Marriott, proudly serving Fordham for over 10 years, and by U.S. Air. U.S. Air begins with you.
All across the USA, for as long as we've been around, our passengers are our neighbors. This country's our hometown. Every time we fly, every mile of sky, everything we do, USA, USA begins with you.
Outside this old world just keeps on.
Randy Travis, he's the best.
Still the real things are
What a
found.
voice.
Hello.
Hi.
When you found the real thing.
I think he's as cute in person. Uh-huh. What I wouldn't give to meet a guy like him. Hey, Julie, want to ring up this Coca-Cola Classic?
Thank you. Can't beat the real thing.
Sports Channel in October. It's a great new season of sports excitement. The Islanders and Devils begin their 92 charge. Check them out. Battling Lemieux's champion Penguins, Messier's Rangers, and Eric Lindros Flyers. Catch nonstop college football with live coverage of Syracuse, Miami, Pitt, and area favorite Hofstra. Baseball's greatest games returns October 26th with the 91 Fall Classic. Coming in November, Chuck Daly's Nets challenge the NBA's best. Sports Channel this fall. A lot to get excited about.
Back at Jack Coffey Field, we're just moments away from the opening kickoff. Silvestri's Carpets, located at 2373 Belmont Avenue in the Little Italy section of the Bronx, featuring the Ashley Carpet Collection by Salem. Ashley has 8 new styles featuring 342 of the most beautiful colors ever available in the carpet industry. Extended warranties and superior construction make Ashley Carpets a great beginning to home sweet home. Tomorrow's color and styling today. For free estimate and shop-at-home services, call 1-800-675-7474. Ray Tellier is the Columbia head coach. He's in his 4th year at the helm of the Lion program. Earlier today, he spoke with our Gary Sussman.
Coach, less than ideal field conditions today. How's that going to affect your game plan?
Well, we're going to find out. I think fortunately the wind is not picked up yet, and sometimes that's the most critical factor. It isn't a good field right now. We'd like to throw the ball a little bit and run some option, and we're just going to have to do a great job of protecting the ball under these circumstances.
Do these field conditions favor you or favor Fordham?
Well, I don't think they favor us. I think they're more of a power team, and I think in a 2 tight end team, so they probably do favor them a little bit, but we've played in it before, and we'll get lined up and find something to run.
Before the season, you were quoted as saying that you were cautiously optimistic about this year. Why so?
Well, we had a nucleus of players back on defense, and we think that's our strength. That are good football players. We have a real fine middle linebacker in Des Worthman. We think the best cornerback in the league in Kevin Robinson, and a good defensive line. We have more size, we're physically better up front offensively, and a talented quarterback. The problem with our offense is we're very young. At times we'll have 8 sophomores on the field at once, and they still have to learn. We think our first 22 are better football players than we've had playing for us in the past, and hopefully that's going to show up with a few wins this year.
Good luck this afternoon, Coach.
Thanks very much.
Ray Tellier feels that his club can win 5 games this season, and that would be a huge step forward for this program. But they've got to get on the winning track shortly. He feels this is a critical game to their success. The captains meeting at the middle of the field, the tri-captains for the Fordham Rams, Tony Iasello, Mike Byer, and the middle linebacker, Mark Blażewski, the lone captain, Des Worthman, for the Columbia Lions. This is the 5th meeting between these 2 clubs. Columbia leads the series 3-1. The series began back in 1890. They played in 1902, 1972, and last year when Fordham had a come-from-behind win, 20-16. So Columbia looking to avenge that loss this afternoon. The rain has subsided, and the wind has cut down considerably since this morning. And Kurt, that's good news for Columbia. Ray Tellier was telling us before the game that in order to take advantage of his team's speed, he was hoping to be able to run a wide-open offense, trips, 4 receivers, use the option game. When he arrived here, he wasn't so sure he'd be able to implement that because of the conditions, but I think as the weather has improved, he might be changing his mind.
Well, I'm sure he's happy about that, Matt. He wants to throw a number of different looks at Fordham, I know that. And he doesn't want to be inhibited by the weather. So it looks like it stopped raining, but it's still very cloudy, and we may get more rain yet.
Columbia will receive the opening kickoff, and we'll have an opportunity to see that man there, number 3, who returned to kick 96 yards last week against Harvard, was stopped at the 1-yard line, but Columbia subsequently scored. That's Kevin Robinson, and Robinson's going to be an all-purpose threat this afternoon. He's an outstanding defensive back, but in order to improve that running game, look for Robinson to run from the tailback spot sometime this afternoon.
Well, Kevin Robinson is not a real big kid, Matt. He's only 5'7", 175 pounds. But he can take it a long way. 96 yards is a great kickoff return, and I'm sure they're looking for good things from him today.
Mike Munt is back there with him, and look for Fordham to try to keep the ball away from Robinson. They are well aware of his speed. He's 5'7", 175 pounds. He's a senior out of Denver, Colorado. Freshman Pete Wilkinson does the kicking for the Fordham Rams. In fact, they have a freshman field goal kicker also. They are looking to improve that part of their game here at Fordham, and we are just about ready for the start of this afternoon's contest between the Patriot League's Fordham Rams and the Ivy League's Columbia Lions. Each team looking for the first win in the 1992 season. A short kick. Munt with some trouble at the 16-yard line. And he returns it up near the 24-yard line before he's brought down. It'll be 1st and 10 from that point for the Columbia Lions. Offensively, here's how Columbia sets up their backs and receivers. Chad Andrzejewski is the quarterback. Justin Fossbender is the tailback. Kyle Branham is the fullback. Ken Hayes the split end. Mike Sardo the flanker. And the tight end is Johnny Greenfield. The offensive line, Tony Petris, Steve Miller on the left side, Matt Cassio the center, Dan Petrosky and Rich Weindell on the right side. Fossbender, the single setback for the Lions. As they go with 4 receivers, a little bit of a problem on the pitch, and the ball is recovered by the Rams. Big early break for the Fordham Rams, Kurt.
Well, the weather is coming to play early here. It looked like a miscue between the quarterback and the halfback we can see here, and he got tackled immediately, and the ball is in Fordham's hand right now on the 20-yard line.
Aaron Doherty with the big hit that forced the ball to come free. The Rams with the ball at the 20-yard line. Conrad O'Lear hands the ball off. Scott Helverson, the senior tailback, stopped at the line of scrimmage. The Fordham offense, the backs and receivers, senior quarterback Conrad O'Lear in the backfield behind him, Scott Helverson and Tony Iasello. Tom Garlick, the outstanding split end, and the fine flanker John Patamoussis. The tight end is John Strauss. The offensive line, Rob Burke and Mike Byer. The center, Neil Pentinen, David Neese and Tim Sullivan, the right-hand side of that offensive line. They'll call it a pickup of 1. It's 2nd down and 9. O'Lear looking to throw and has Garlick. Garlick inside the 15-yard line. Wrapped up on the play by Kevin Robinson, and that's a matchup to keep an eye on. Robinson, an outstanding defender, but Tom Garlick, one of the best receivers on the Division I AA level.
I think we're going to see a lot of Garlick and Robinson today. That was a nice play by Garlick. 8 yards on 2nd down. It sets up 3rd down and 3.
3rd and 3 for the Fordham Rams, trying to capitalize on the turnover. It's Iasello, the fullback, who picks up the 1st down as he's inside the 10-yard line. The Fordham quarterback this afternoon, the senior out of Fair Lawn, New Jersey, Conrad O'Lear, has completed 56% of his passes. He's thrown 2 touchdowns. He's been intercepted once. An outstanding leader for this club, and coming off a bit of a down game last week against Colgate, hoping to raise his level closer to the game he had against Lehigh in the opener. Garlick now goes split to the left as it's a double tight end setup for the Fordham Rams. 1st and goal. Helverson tries to go left side, and Des Worthman wraps him up. The Columbia defense up front, they have Sean Nichols. He, an interesting story, was in the military for the last 2 years, but he's a senior left end. Matt Thompson has been replaced this week by Gary Kasperzak, who's back from a groin injury, and that'll help the pass rush for the Lions. Adam Yellowshan and Jim Dane on the right-hand side. The linebackers, J. Don Johnson, Worthman, and Rick Brenders. And deep, the rover is Mark Calveric, Robinson, Tim Hawks, and Joe Hill also back there in the secondary for the Lions. On 2nd and goal. O'Lear looking to pass again under pressure and just heaves it off to the left. Nobody out there, and a flag is thrown on the play.
Oh, Matt, Garlick was almost tackled on that play. I believe it was Robinson who just grabbed him around the waist, and that was certainly a penalty, and they'll should be 1st and goal at the 5, sure.
The officials discussing what the call will be. Our referee is David Harrison.
Garlick was the only wide receiver out on that play. They had two backs and 2 tight ends in. They were hoping for him to get open, and I think he was about to get open before he was almost tackled in the secondary.
Offsetting penalties, and so it's a do-over, essentially. The officials once again, David Harrison, the referee. Joe Caprio is the umpire. Milton Halstead, the head linesman. Steve Marinucci is the line judge. Robert Carroll, the back judge. James Urick is the field judge. And our clock operator is James Walsh. So we do it all over again. It's 2nd down and goal. Ball just inside the 10-yard line. Iasello bullying his way down to the 6-yard line. Worthman again in on the stop, along with help from Joe Hill.
We're going to take a look at this from the end zone. Iasello goes right up the middle. He manages to bang it off to the right a little bit. He's running tough. When you get down there around the 5-yard line, things get real difficult. So he did pretty well to get a couple yards down there.
3 minutes gone by in the opening quarter. 3rd and goal from the 6. Helverson, the lone setback for Fordham. O'Lear has room. Now looking to throw in the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Garlick. And a field goal opportunity for the Fordham Rams. This has been a problem for them. They trot out freshman Bob Hagan to try the field goal. Hagan 0 for 3 this year. And Fordham has struggled, as I said, 1 field goal in the last 15 games, 2 in the last 20.
Well, this will be a nice opportunity for Hagan. If he can make this short one, he could build his confidence the rest of the game.
24-yard field goal attempt. John Potamoussis will hold. It is up, and it is good. So Fordham scores on the field goal try. Larry Glick said, "We have not lost any confidence in our kicking game. We just not have made a field goal." He said, "We're going to try it." And once that kid makes the first one, he said, that freshman, Bob Hagan, is going to be a good one. So Hagan kicks his first field goal of the year. Not much of a smile right now from him, but I'm sure inside he's awfully pleased to get that first one on the collegiate level.
Well, that was the best scenario that Hagan could have had there. He had a little chip shot, not a real far field goal. I think the ball was spotted at the 5, which makes it about a 20-yard field goal or so. This is important. Here's the kick right here. We have it. Oh, he's very happy. See, this kid is going to be filled with confidence now and perhaps go on to kick a couple more this game.
Wasn't smiling when we saw him on the sideline, but thrilled with that 24-yard field goal. And Fordham on top with 11:42 to go in the first quarter. That also has to give a big lift, Kurt, to the entire team. It takes some pressure off the offense. I'm sure in the back of their mind, they were thinking every time we were in the red zone, we had to score a touchdown because we were not going to be able to kick a field goal. Now they see the positive results, and that eases some of the pressure they must feel.
Absolutely.
Wilkinson to kick off for the second time. Another short one. Munt handles it, and he has a nice return out near the 40-yard line to the 38-yard line. So good field position for Columbia as they have the ball for the second time this afternoon. The scoring drive, 5 plays, 20 yards. Took them 3:05 to score the first 3 points of the ball game, and the Rams on top.
I think it was real important for Fordham to capitalize on that turnover. When you come up, when you get a turnover on the 20-yard line and come up empty, it has a demoralizing effect on your team. So that was important.
There was a penalty called on the kickoff return. It was declined. Columbia has it. Chad Andrzejewski, the quarterback, has completed 56% of his tries, has thrown, however, 3 interceptions. Rolling out, has some pressure, flips one out, incomplete. Aaron Doherty providing the pressure on Andrzejewski. 20 for 36 on the year for 181 yards. As I said, has completed 56% of his passes and a little banged up. He was hit hard on his left leg last week against Harvard. You can see that he's limping a little bit to the line, as in fact. And Ray Tellier wasn't sure how it would react. He says that left leg is bruised from the middle of his thigh down toward his ankle. To the air again, knocked away. Good defense provided by Dave Kratz. That Fordham defense up front, Aaron Doherty on the left side, Ryan Reiner at the right end. They're a good pair. They're both juniors. Pat O'Doherty and Kurt Geisler, the interior down linemen. The linebackers, John Clarkson, Blażewski, and Tim Donahue. And in the secondary, Brad Jordan, Chris Tyrone, Mike Wilt, and Fred DeVito. It's a veteran cast. It is outstanding. 3rd down and 10. Throwing complete for a first down Andrzejewski has his man, Mike Munt. Munt listed as a backup flanker, but last week he caught 5 passes, and he is the second leading receiver on this team, and they will rotate a lot of players in at the receiver position.
We're going to see this catch one more time. Munt is running an in pattern on the left. As you can see, the ball is thrown a little bit behind him. He makes a great catch under the conditions, and a first down for Columbia.
The Lions moving in Fordham territory for the first time this afternoon. A pitch. Fossbender trying to go right side, and it is strung out well by that Fordham defense. I thought that play was going to be more successful than it was, but credit that defense and that middle linebacker, Mark Blażewski, with stringing the play out and stopping it for no gain.
It's interesting to note that Columbia is using wide open offensive formations. They came up with 4 wide receivers on their first couple of plays. They had 3 wide receivers on the last play.
Man in motion, rolling out is Andrzejewski. Flips one to the man who was moving in motion, and it is complete. That's Mike Sardo. Sardo knocked out of bounds close to a first down. And the pressure being applied to that secondary by Columbia. And that is what Ray Tellier wanted to do. And he has been successful thus far.
That's a very interesting strategy that he's using. You would expect him to run more under these conditions, but he's wide open. And he's got that Fordham defense guessing right now. They don't know whether he's throwing or rushing.
An 11-yard pickup on the play. It is a first down for Columbia as they are inside the 40. Ball at the 36-yard line. Kyle Branham, the lone man in the backfield. Sardo moves in motion, and we have a flag on the play, and Sardo might have been cutting upfield a little early. .9:43 to go in the opening quarter, and the penalty is called against Columbia, so this will cost them 5 yards. Larry Glick, the Fordham head coach, in his 7th year at Fordham, and he is 6th on the Fordham all-time win list, and a win today with time for 5th on that list with Ed Danowski, who coached here from 1946 to 1954. 1st and 15. Sardo in motion again, and movement on the defensive line. 2 guys jumping across, and we have another flag. Columbia fell behind early last week and rallied to make it a ball game. They feel their defense, Kurt, is better than the 27 points they gave up against Harvard. But Joe Restic is a wily coach, and he throws a lot of things at you. They did settle down in the second half after giving up 21 first-half points. But they feel their defense is going to be the key to their success, but they have to be pleased with the way the offense has been able to move the ball.
The Columbia receivers have had no problem catching the ball in this weather so far. And they've been catching the ball primarily with their hands, not body catches. So I don't think the weather is affecting them that much. I really like the game plan of Columbia coming out throwing, and with the wide receivers, or I know they have 4 wide receivers or a tight end standing up, 3 wide receivers or a tight end standing up. Interesting.
Andrzejewski 2 for 4 for 26 yards. 3 receivers to the right-hand side, firing it over the middle, and it's incomplete. Mike Sardo, the intended receiver.
We're going to see the linebacker over here. The linebacker play. The pass was nowhere near the receiver here.
Blażewski covering the intended receiver, Sardo. Kevin Robinson is in the game at the tailback spot. First time we've seen him, and he gets the ball on the pitch. He's got great speed. He's got room to the outside. Robinson tripped up, but I believe he's picked up the first down, and you can see why Columbia is excited and wanted to move him back into the running back spot.
This kid's got a lot of speed. He gets to the outside and just picks up that first down real easily. There's nobody on the outside to stop him. They can.
Let's see what happens on the tail end of this play. Yeah, a little pushing and shoving. How do you do? Blazieski getting hit.
That's a good hit. These two teams are excited.
Brainham and Blazieski meeting. It is a first down, 11-yard pickup. And Brainham with the call. And Brainham is inside the 20-yard line. And this is what Columbia wanted to see. They're moving the ball on the ground. As you mentioned in our open, Kurt, they were only able to gain 13 net yards against Harvard. Of course, part of that was the factor that they were down in the game, so they had to throw. But they were not happy with their running game, and they've come out and been able to run the ball fairly well. 2nd down and 4. Brainham again, the lone setback. Andrzejewski completes the pass, and that's Brian Bassett, a reserve tight end, a sophomore out of Acton, Massachusetts. And when you say reserve on this team, they do rotate so many wide receivers and tight ends into the game. There's no one who's truly a reserve.
You got the replay here. It's just a little out pattern. Wide open, catches it, picks up 10 yards. I believe he's got the first down.
It is a first down, and it's 1st and goal from the 9. Robinson back in the game for the Lions. Andrzejewski is going to tuck it in and keep himself, and regains the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Blazieski and Aaron Torgler, a sophomore defensive end, combining for the stop.
That was a nice defensive play by Blazieski. He's getting tough down here. He doesn't want him to get a score.
He's 6 foot tall, 225 pounds. He's out of Plains, Pennsylvania, and was named in a balloting by the coaches the preseason Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year. 11th play of this drive. And we have movement on the line and another flag. Getting back to Blazieski, Larry Glick simply says he's the heart and soul of our defense.
He's a tough guy, and that's what you need at middle linebacker, definitely. I've seen his helmet off once in this game already. There's some people hitting each other down there.
Oop. Center, Matt Cassio.
People are excited. They're playing with some emotion down there. Helmets are off. People are jumping off sides. That's okay. People are excited. They're ready to play.
Cassio ready to go on 1. Everyone else ready to go on 2. Penalty now sets them back. It's 2nd and goal from the 14-yard line. It's a draw play. Breaking tackles and rambling toward the 5 is Brainham. A flag on the play at the tail end of the play, but that draw play working very effectively on 2nd and goal from the 14.
Brainham takes the ball. He gets a good block. Takes it to the outside, outruns Blazieski. Fancy footwork there. Nice hard run, puts his head down at the end.
The flag is picked up and waved off as we look at Ray Tellier. His team has 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Both teams have pride in their defense, and let's see what the Rams can do here in a goal line situation. 3 running backs in the backfield. New look for Columbia. Andrzejewski's going to throw, and it's a touchdown. Johnny Greenfield, a 6'4", 230-pound sophomore, a tight end, grabbing the 3-yard touchdown pass, and the Lions are on top by a score of 6-3.
This is just great play action on this play. I think we'll get a replay later on it. Fordham doesn't expect them to pass here. The play action comes in, and it's just wide open. Nice play.
In the backfield was Des Worthman, and Fordham was focusing on him. Of course, he ran for 2 touchdowns in short goal line situations last week, and instead they go with the pass, and it's good, as is B, as in Bart, but he prefers the initial B Teal. Let's take a look at that score again and watch Worthman as they fake the ball to him, and everyone goes
This is a beautiful fake. And the tight end comes from the other side of the field, wide open. Very nice.
Greenfield, one of the team's hardest workers, recovering from surgery for a dislocated kneecap last year, picks up the touchdown pass with 6:58 to go in the first quarter.
I think that Columbia really kept Fordham off balance during that entire drive. They threw a lot of different formations at him. 4 wide receivers, 3 wide receivers. They threw on first down a lot. They just kept them on their toes. Fordham's defense did not know whether they were throwing or passing. Very good drive by Columbia. Good coaching there.
Let's send it down to our sideline correspondent, Gary Sussman.
Thank you very much, Matt. Even though the weather is inclement, it is not a factor at this point. There is no wind. It is only a heavy mist. I spoke to field goal kicker Bob Hagan of Fordham. He said the footing is good out there. And as you can see, the offense is having a much easier time than the defense. Back upstairs.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. We'll be hearing from Gary all afternoon. Teal to kick off, back deep to return the kick for the Fordham Rams. Tom Garlick and Mike Wilt, or check that. For Fordham, they now have back there Sean Harris. It's a kick to Harris, and Harris brings the ball across the 30-yard line. And Fordham with good field position. Tackle on the play by Mike Summers.
These guys are really excited out there, Matt. You got people hitting people after the play. You might have a couple unsportsmanlike contact penalties before this day is over. It's really, really looking tough out there.
13 plays, 62 yards. 4:38 elapsed time in that scoring drive for Columbia as they lead by a score of 7-3. Iasello, the fullback, the lone man in the backfield, crosses the 35 up to the 37-yard line. This is Worthman and J. Don Johnson combining for the stop.
This Iasello is a tough kid. He just gets a little tiny hole and carries people with him for another 3 or 4 yards.
Third leading rusher on the team coming into the game, also the third leading receiver on the club, a senior out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Conrad O'Lear leads the team to the line. 2nd down and 6. Helverson now the lone man in the backfield. A flag is thrown on the play as he reaches the 40-yard line. Thrown in that area where you normally see holding, and that is the preliminary signal.
Fordham's using a 2 tight end offense right now, and they're running the ball, so I believe they think that's going to help them in the running game to have a tight end there as opposed to a running back up on the line of scrimmage.
Defensive coordinator Joe Gambardella speaking to that defense, and there's Blażewski with the short blonde hair. You were telling us before the game that the defense last week decided to go with the shaved head look. Chris Tyrone kind of was the man behind that move.
Chris Tyrone started that. That was in the first game against Lehigh that they did that.
So some of the hair starting to grow back, but the Gambardella talking to that defense, and they're going to have to make some adjustments as Helverson gets the call on 2nd and long following the mark-off of the penalty.
We're going to get a look at Worthman here in a second. There he is, number 49, just stalking things out. Nobody comes out to block him, and he comes up and makes the big hit there, gets a little help.
3rd down and 14. Iasello, the lone setback. Patamusis and Harris come to the near side. Garlick wide to the left. O'Lear lofting one for Patamusis, and he makes the catch inside Columbia territory. The ball now comes free, and it goes over to the Lions. Patamusis, a sure-handed receiver, your quintessential possession-type receiver, hit as he tries for the extra yard, and the ball pops free, and Columbia recovers it. What a break for the Lions.
This is a nice play. It's a shame that it ends in a fumble. Potamoussis makes the play, makes the catch, and then he just gets hit from behind, knocks the ball out, and it doesn't go out of bounds, and they lose it. Too bad.
35-yard gain on the play, but the ball goes over to Columbia. Second turnover of the ball game, one for each team. Andrzejewski to throw, and he completes the pass, and they are just working on that secondary.
This is such a great strategy to throw on first down. You really keep those defensive linemen off guard. They don't know what's going on.
Ken Hayes, his 7th catch of the year. And Sean Nichols on that previous play, perhaps sending a little message to Conrad O'Lear. Saying you may pass the ball long, but I'm going to be around you. Nichols is a sack specialist. 9-yard pickup on the play. It's 2nd down and 1. On the ground, they keep it. John Klosik seeing his first appearance carrying the ball. He's a junior out of Wayne, New Jersey. Had 1 carry last week.
I really don't see too much slipping out there right now. They're handling the weather conditions well.
Well, again, there was a tar put on the field from 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon until about an hour before game time from the 20 to the 20, so they're in the best part of the field right now. Justin Fossbender up to midfield. When things are clicking for you offensively, as they are this afternoon, when the pass is working, it makes the running game easier. And when you can run the ball, it makes you respect the run, so the passing game becomes easier.
Yes, you have to find some success in one or the other, the running game or the passing game to begin with, and then the whichever you do next will work.
3:25 to go in the opening quarter. Columbia driving. They lead by a score of 7-3. Heavy pressure. The ball comes free. And it is recovered by the man who caused the fumble, Kurt Geisler. Geisler, the senior out of Garfield, New Jersey, and a 3-year starter, popped the ball free from Andrzejewski, and then he had the presence of mind to follow up and recover the loose ball.
There's the shaved head look there at the defense. This is a great play. Grabs him by the shirt. He's got him now. Geisler jumps on his back and knocks the ball loose. Fordham ball.
And the 240-pounder tosses Andrzejewski away and falls on the loose ball. His first fumble recovery of the season. And it's 1st and 10 for Fordham at the 39-yard line. We have a little bit of a delay, and I think what it is that the coaching headphones, the wires from the headphones got caught up in the 10-yard marker, and once they straighten that out, we seem to be ready to go. So let's see if Fordham can take advantage of the turnover.
Those phones can be quite a problem. I've seen coaches knocked right on their cans.
There's Geisler on the sideline, getting some water to drink, getting a well-deserved rest. Iacello and Helverson in the backfield, and it is Iacello, and the fullback has room to run. Inside the 30-yard line. Gain of 12 on the play. Kevin Robinson coming up and applying the good hit. Watch Robinson at the end of this play.
Iacello's getting some room to run here, though. His offensive line is just pushing people downfield.
1st and 10 for Fordham, under 3 minutes to go. First quarter action. Helverson now in a flanker position. O'Lear looks to throw, finds Helverson at the 15-yard line.
Helverson got hit immediately. That was a good job of holding on to the ball after you catch it.
Helverson began his career here at Fordham as a flanker, and he has the ability to come out of that backfield and catch the pass, or they set him out as a flanker from time to time, and he comes through. That's Geisler, the man who set all of this up. Looking on, hoping the offense can put it in. Iacello spins forward for a yard or so. Rick Brenders, the right outside linebacker, a junior out of Brooks Park, Ohio, makes the stop.
Right down inside the 20 now. The going gets tough again. Columbia stiffened up.
Iasello, one of the tri-captains, a 3-year starter at that fullback position. Played some tailback last year in the final 2 games of the season, but basically a hard-nosed, tough runner. Gets the call and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Brender's again in on the play. Adam Yellowshan also in on the stop.
Just no place to run on that play. Iasello's dancing around a little bit looking for a hole. There's just nothing there. Columbia's defensive line is doing a good job standing people up, not getting pushed around, no place to go.
Brender's lurking, waiting for the play to develop to make the stop. It's 3rd and 9. Potamoussis and Garlic split to the right, and now it is Potamoussis who goes in motion. O'Lear looking for Garlic, incomplete in the end zone. Robinson on the coverage. Garlic complaining a little bit to the official, thought he was pushed. No flag on the play. And my guess is we'll see Hagan here.
Real tight coverage back here. Comes in front of him a little bit before the ball. I guess it was up to the referee to determine. It wasn't before the ball was by him. Good play.
Garlic has 5 inches on Robinson, so the challenge is to the defensive back. Here's Hagan, his 2nd field goal try of the afternoon. He was good from 24 earlier. This from 32, and it's blocked. Rick Brenders, who we saw make the tackle just a moment ago, comes up with the block. And Columbia will take over. This has been a game in which each team has forced the other to make a mistake some way or another, either a fumble recovery or here the blocked field goal.
Well, Columbia is known for their kick blocking. It's usually Mark Calverick who blocks him, but this time, who got it this time? Rick Brender's got it this time.
Ray Tellier looking on. 4th-year head coach, 3 1-9 seasons in his first 3 years, but he's had back-to-back outstanding recruiting years. They look to go with the screen, and it's thrown just a little bit in front of John Klosik, and it falls incomplete. 48 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Again, Columbia throwing on first down, though, keeping the Fordham Rams off guard. That defensive line has got to be wondering, what are they doing on first down? Passing, running, very unpredictable, and it's a real good style of play, I think.
2nd down and 10. Mike Munt goes split to the right. Ken Hayes along the Fordham sideline. Handoff to Klosik, and Klosik is stopped for no gain. That defensive line is a solid defensive line for Fordham, and they've been able to control things on certain plays, and perhaps they're making some adjustments along the way.
This was Blazewski, though. He just comes, he smells out the play, doesn't get fooled by the pass.
And that's the way it's supposed to be. In other words, the Fordham scheme is let the linemen shield for their linebackers, and that was a perfect example.
Absolutely.
Time running out here in the first quarter. 3rd and 11. Andrzejewski throws, and a little misread on the play. Sardo cutting inside. Andrzejewski under some pressure, throwing it to the outside on the final play of this drive. Excuse me, 2 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
This is some real good pressure by the Fordham line. Right in on him. That'll make a quarterback throw it over somebody's head every time.
Pat O'Doherty, the senior defensive tackle, bringing Andrzejewski down to the turf. Jamie Schwalbe in punt formation for Columbia. A little bit of a high snap, is able to get it off. Slipped, though, as he got the punt off, but it gets a Columbia bounce, and it rolls down inside the 35 to about the 31-yard line. A 43-yard punt for Schwalbe. And that turns out to be the final play of the first quarter. Well, first quarter in the books. The score 7-3. Columbia leading the Fordham Rams.
It's hot. It's burning. It's Freehold Hyundai Jeep Eagle Mitsubishi's midsummer sale. All prices have been slashed, and factory rebates have never been higher. Like a 92 Eclipse, sale priced at $119 a month. 92 Excel, sale priced at $79 a month. A rugged Cherokee Laredo reduced to just $16,695. These low midsummer prices are why Freehold Hyundai Jeep Eagle Mitsubishi is the largest volume dealer in Monmouth and Ocean counties. Freehold Hyundai Jeep Eagle Mitsubishi, Route 9 South, Freehold, New Jersey. Hurry while selection lasts.
It's Sunday night, and your weekend's history. Toast, kick the bucket, finish. The fat lady singing. It's over. Unless you send your weekend into overtime. With Sunday Night NFL on TNT. So keep your weekend drive alive with Sunday Night NFL on TNT.
7-3 our score. We're about ready for the start of the second quarter. It's the Columbia Lions on top by that margin. Success comes from planning on the field and off. If your financial program isn't giving you the security or the success you're looking for, you need a better plan, one that's tailored to your objectives, your resources. To see what a difference the right plan can make, call Ira Sussman Associates at 800-468-3797. That's 1-800-468-3797. Kurt Fordham seemed to make some adjustments on that last defensive series, forcing Columbia into their first punt of the afternoon. Anything that you saw that they did?
I couldn't pick anything up right away. I just know that they're off balance right now from Columbia's offense.
Columbia on the defense as O'Lear calls signals. He's 3 for 5, goes to the air again. Now make that 3 for 6 for 53 yards. Corey Harper, the intended receiver.
Even with an incompletion on first down, the thought of throwing on first down is always a good one. You keep that defense off guard. You got to keep them guessing so they have no tendencies on you.
The Columbia defense bolstered this week by the return of Gary Kasperzak to the left defensive tackle position. He and Nichols form a strong pair on the left-hand side. Mike Payton, new running back into the game with his first carry of the afternoon.
I believe that was Worthman again on the tackle. He's just shutting down that running game.
Worthman with the stop indeed. Payton comes to the sideline after a gain of 1 yard. It's 3rd down and 9. Patamusis and Harris go split to the right. Garlick, the lone wide receiver, on the right-hand side along the Fordham bench. And we have a whistle as the time clock, the possession clock, has expired, the 25-second clock, and it's a delay of game called against the Fordham Rams. So that'll make it 3rd and 14.
Well, that's unfortunate for the Rams. 3rd and 9 is a hard enough play to have to come up with. Now they've got 3rd and 14, makes it only that much more difficult.
4th penalty called against Fordham for 25 yards. Columbia has been penalized once for 5 yards. 3rd and 14. Passing situation, O'Lear straight back to pass. Looking for Harris, it goes through his hands and incomplete. Coverage on the play by Mark Calverick. Calverick, the rover back, a junior out of Orchard Park, New York. And it'll be a punting situation for Fordham as Steve Mazzanegro comes in. Negro, a 30.1 average this year with a long of 43. Back deep, the lone man back there for Columbia is Mike Munt. Bad snap, and how he got that off. It might have been partially blocked, but how he got that off at all is beyond me, as the Columbia rush, and I believe that was Kevin Robinson, was in on him. The ball was touched at the 49-yard line, a 21-yard punt. We'll take a look at it. Let's see if Robinson does get a piece of it.
You should see him from the right of the screen coming in here. There he is. Very close. Good technique, too, not going at the punter's foot, but going out in front of the ball.
Good field position for Andrzejewski and his teammates as the ball is in Fordham territory at the 49-yard line. Sardo, the man in motion, and Brainham picks up about a yard. Kyle Brainham, a sophomore from Danville, California. Little movement, but they got back. And watch the interior defense for the Rams. Big, strong, physical.
No place to run there. Very solid.
That time overpowering the young Columbia line. 5 sophomores starting on that offensive line. On second down, Andrzejewski to throw. Completes the pass to Casey Blair. Blair short of a first down to the 41-yard line. Chris Tyrone on the coverage. Blair, a junior out of Deer Park, Washington. Last year he was about to break into the starting lineup, but then he hurt his ankle, and right now listed as second at the split end position behind Ken Hayes. That's his 5th catch of the year, and now we get a timeout called as Andrzejewski wants to talk things over with Ray Tellier. And an important third down. It's 3rd down and 3. Columbia leading by a score of 7-3. If you're just joining us, it was a 24-yard field goal by Bob Hagan, the first field goal in the freshman's career here at Fordham, and Fordham led by a score of 3-0, but then Columbia came back and Johnny Greenfield caught a 3-yard pass for a score. B. Teal with the extra point, and that's where we stand as we are early in the second quarter. So far, an impressive offensive showing for Columbia. They have to be very pleased. Ray Tellier told me before the ball game, he said, quite honestly, we had a lousy week of offensive practice. He said early in the week we had one day that was okay, but as the week progressed, he said we got progressively worse. But so far, maybe Columbia is showing the fact that if you practice poorly, you play well, and maybe the reverse is true, who knows? But at any rate, after a bad week of practice, they've come out and looked okay.
Doesn't usually work like that, Matt, but could be the exception today.
That'll give the young head coach, Ray Tellier, some gray hairs if that's the way the team is going to perform all year long. Sardo in motion. Andrzejewski to throw, under pressure. Unloads long for Sardo, incomplete. Pressure coming from Ryan Reinert, the junior defensive end out of Dover, Pennsylvania. He had 10 tackles last week against Colgate. He's the 3rd leading tackler on this team, and Fordham has 2 junior defensive ends that they are very pleased with and are among the best in the East.
Again, we had a different offensive look from Columbia. We had a man in motion with 2 backs in the backfield and 1 tight end. They're really mixing it up.
Brad Jordan back deep to receive the Schwalbe punt. Jordan, the all-time leader in punt return yardage here at Fordham. Nearly blocked, and no flag as Schwalbe was run into, and the ball is down to around the 20-yard line. The referee was giving a close look, David Harrison, and we'll take a look at it here, and you be the judge. The man who has the final decision, David Harrison, decided it was not a penalty, but Schwalbe goes down.
Schwalbe ends up on the ground, and he does get hit a little bit. No flag, though.
Harrison, I thought, was looking for the flag, but then decided that none was going to be thrown. So Fordham has the ball at the 20-yard line. Helverson up the middle for about a yard. Let's take a look at senior Des Worthman, perhaps the best player on either side of the ball in the Ivy League.
Nobody able to block him. He just piles on the top. Actually, it was the defensive line that made that play. Worthman just jumped on that one.
Worthman, the 3rd leading vote getter last year for Ivy League Player of the Year. Al Rozier and Chris Corey finishing 1 and 2. They are offensive players, so when a defensive player can finish that high, that says something about his talents. O'Lear firing, incomplete. A flag thrown on the play.
We got a bunch of flags down on this one.
2 flags, and I believe they'll be for 2 different calls. But let's take a look at the end of that pass play, and I believe we're definitely going to get an interference call on this one. Corey Harper, the intended receiver.
It looks like contact is made beforehand. We should get an interference call on that.
And you can see at the top of your screen that the flag on the far side was already thrown before the official could have even made a decision on whether or not it was pass interference. Offsetting penalties, holding on Fordham, interference as we thought against Columbia, but they are offsetting penalties. Second time we have had offsetting penalties in this game. It's 2nd down and 9. O'Lear with the long count. Helverson gets the call. Or check that. Yes, that is Scott Helverson.
It's a pretty nice hole for Helverson in here. Then he gets stood up, and he's really trying hard, this kid. Watch him. Finds a little hole, slips through, gets banged, and look at him drive those legs, try to get the extra yards. That's what you want to see on your football team.
6 carries now for 21 yards for Helverson. He had 90 yards in the opener, but was held to just 11 last week. A timeout called by Fordham. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Come on, lads!
O'Lear over on the sideline to talk things over and figure out what they're going to do. And as they decide what to do, we'll remind you that on Friday evening, Rhode Island takes on Hofstra under the lights in a 7:30 start. You can see Rhode Island against the Flying Dutchman live and exclusive on Sports Channel. And don't forget, Hofstra plays Towson State tonight on Sports Channel. Joe Gardy's club struggling just a little bit, hoping to turn things around before the season gets too far away from them. Fordham and Hofstra in similar positions, recently making the move to Division I AA. And it's not that easy to do so when you're going up against established clubs that have been in that program for a long time. As we take a look at the crowd in attendance here at Jack Coffey Field, and you can see the umbrellas have for the most part been put away. The rain has stopped, and given the weather conditions, it's cold, it's damp, a pretty good crowd for this matchup.
Not too many empty seats. This is good.
3rd down play. O'Lear under pressure. Nichols has him and sacks him. The ball comes free. It was recovered by Fordham. Tim Sullivan coming up with the fumble recovery, the right tackle. Sean Nichols is a good one. Columbia missed him for the last 2 years as he served in the military, but the senior is a sack specialist. Out of Chicago, Illinois. And now Montenegro back to punt once again. He's standing in his end zone. Munt deep for Columbia. Good punt by Montenegro. Munt hammered as he gets inside the 40-yard line. Greg Erdelli with the stop, and he pounded Munt. 35-yard punt, 8-yard return for Munt. But Erdelli saying, yeah, when you play special teams, and that's basically where you're going to see your action, you got to make your mark.
He made his mark on that play. That was a solid hit. Stopped Munt right in his tracks.
Good field position, though, for the Lions as they are inside the 40-yard line, leading by a score of 7-3. I'm Matt Lachlan, along with me, Kurt Sohn and Gary Sussman. We're at Jack Coffey Field, the home of the Fordham Rams. On the pitch, Fossbender tries the left side, ridden out of bounds on the far sideline. Gain on the play of about 4.
This is a nice play by Andrzejewski. He makes the fake here, runs the option out. About to get tackled, flips at the last minute, gives Fossbender a lot of room to run. And as you can see, it's a pretty successful play. They got about 5 yards on it.
John Clarkson driving Fossbender out. Fossbender, talk about learning new positions. was a quarterback in high school. As a freshman, he was a receiver. This year, as a sophomore, they switched him to a running back. So 3 positions he's had to learn in the last 3 years. Pump fake, and now Andrzejewski going long down the right side, and it is picked off. Mike Wilt with the interception, and it is a safety. A safety on the play as Wilt brought it into the end zone, was tackled there, and what should have been a break for the Rams turns out to be 2 points for the Lions. Wilt, who last year was the Patriot League co-leader in interceptions with 5 with his teammate Chris Tyrone, picks up 1 here, his first of the year, but it backfires on him. The official now confirming it, saying that he made the interception, and it was not his momentum, I guess he decided, that brought him into the end zone, but the fact that he made that conscious decision somehow, and a safety is called. Larry Glick not pleased at all with that call, but it is now 9-3, and Ray Tellier says, well, talk about making something good happen out of a bad play.
I would think it would be difficult to make that judgment call on a wet day like this. Again, the tarp was covering the middle of the field, and the 20-yard line into the end zone is very wet. I don't know if he could stop in time, but it's called a safety, and we got a 9-3 score now.
Joe Lindner, the special teams coordinator, who also coaches the defensive ends here at Fordham, sends that special team unit out, hoping that they can do something here, because in fact Fordham will have to give the ball up to the Columbia Lions. Columbia scoring on the safety with 10:01 to go in the first half. Munt back deep to receive this kick. And he's joined back there by Ken Hayes. Montenegro will punt the ball. You can kick it off a tee if you'd like. That is a free ball. Columbia chases it out of bounds, and a flag thrown on the play. It's a free kick. It's similar to kicking off, so since the ball goes out of bounds, a flag is thrown. Just as if they kicked it off following a score or to start a half. I've seen teams call for a fair catch late in the game on a short punt like that, following a safety, and try a field goal. Turns out they weren't successful in doing it, but I've seen it happen. It has been successful, but I have not personally witnessed that success.
It would have to be a pretty bad kick and a pretty long attempt at the field goal, that's for sure.
But the beauty of it is the team is not allowed to try to block it. It becomes a free kick for the other team, so you can just line it up and go. It's a different mindset that the kicker then has, but it can and has worked in the past. All right, so we're going to kick it over, I believe. Right now, Columbia sending some fresh troops out onto the field, and let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what Columbia has decided to do. Looks like they're going to just take the ball at the 45, their option. So Columbia, rather than having the ball kicked away again, will take the ball at the 45-yard line with 9:55 to go in the first half. Scott Spivey has come in at a receiver position for Columbia, and we have movement on both sides. First there was Doherty jumping for Fordham. That was okay, he could get back. But then Petrus, the left tackle, moved. And that'll cost Columbia 5 yards. Right now, let's send it down to Gary Sussman. Gary.
Thank you very much, Matt. The official explanation on the safety, which, as you could matter, did not make the Fordham crowd happy at all, either the Fordham coaching staff, was that Mike Wilt tried to advance the ball by stiff-arming the Columbia opponent, and the official felt that once the stiff arm went out, that he was trying to advance the ball, thus the tackle in the end zone and the resulting safety. Back to you, Matt.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. 1st and 15 from midfield. As you said, Kurt, awfully hard to make that determination, but the official down there decided that's indeed what happened. John Klosick picking up 15 yards, close to the first down.
This is a real hard run by Klosick. Let's see what happens here. We got a cross block on the offensive line. He manages to take it outside that block, break a tackle, knock 2 people over. This kid runs hard.
6 foot, 200-pounder, a junior from Wayne, New Jersey. Klosick did not start. Branham started at that fullback position, but Klosick has seen an awful lot of action. Robinson back in the backfield at the tailback position. The pitch is to Robinson. This time, Fordham is waiting for him. Tyrone comes up from the strong safety position and then gets help from some teammates. Tyrone, a 3-year starter, as I said earlier, tied last year with Mike Wilt for the Patriot League lead in interceptions. Has 2 interceptions this year and is a 3-year starter, and that's not unusual back there because they've got experience. Brad Jordan is a 3-year starter. Mike Wilt is a 2-year starter. The secondary very strong, very experienced for the Rams. 3rd and 5. 3 receivers to the right-hand side. Andrzejewski to throw. It's tapped up in the air, and it falls incomplete. Heavy rush applied by Fordham. John Clarkson got a piece of it.
We got 4 receivers standing up on the outside for Columbia. 2 to the right, 1 to the left, and he just can't get it off.
Clarkson 5'11", but extending himself to get a piece of it. Schwalbe to punt, his 3rd punt, averaging 32.5 yards per punt. Garlick and Jordan back, angling toward Garlick at the 15. Garlick sidestepping a tackler, has room up the sideline, driven out of bounds by Robinson. It's a good tandem back there, a 20-yard return by Garlick. I told you that Jordan is the all-time leader in punt return yardage here.
This is a nice run by Garlick.
But Garlick's a good one in his own right.
Takes it to the side, makes a great move there up the sideline, fakes 2 guys out with that move.
Garlick,
sideline, gets 20 yards, very nice.
A great kick returner here. He's 2nd leading kickoff return yardage man in Fordham history, but as it turns out, that's his 1st punt return, but he's got good hands and he's savvy back there, and that's why they put him back there with Jordan this time. An incompleted pass. Correction, that is a completed forward pass to John Potamoussis.
It was tough to see whether he caught that or not. It was real close to the ground.
Potamoussis now catching a pass in his 23rd straight game. On the first one, a 35-yarder, he fumbled the ball. He's got 2 on the afternoon. Helverson takes the pitch and is wrapped up and hog-tied by J. Don Johnson. Johnson, a senior, outside linebacker out of Norman, Oklahoma. He's got good lateral speed and quickness.
He got by Calvarek there with a nice move, but couldn't get by the rest of the Columbia defense.
3rd and 1. Nose of the ball at the 45-yard line. Iasello tripped up in the backfield. Gary Kasperzak, the left tackle, tripping up Iasello, and it looks like he's just short.
Kasperzak makes a great play here. He just comes through low and gets his feet. No place for Iasello to go.
Kasperzak missed last week's game against Harvard with a groin injury. And as we said, the Columbia staff happy to have him back. Came up big there. It's 4th and 1. Fordham is going to go with it. 3 men in the backfield. Adam Lang, and I don't know if he made it.
That's close.
He had to get up to the 46-yard line, and I'm not sure he made it. Conrad O'Lear shaking his head and telling the coaches along the sideline that he did not make it. Larry Glick looking on, hoping that he gets a favorable spot. But he's not going to get it, and the defense coming off the field. The Columbia defense says we've held, and the indication is that they have.
Just credit Columbia with a good play here. Anytime you stop a team from getting 1 yard, you've done tremendous defensively.
And they did it on 2 successive plays. So the defense comes up big, and the Lions take over the nose of the ball at the 45-yard line. Lots of time left in the first half, 6 minutes and 36 seconds. The Lions leading by a score of 9-3. 4 receivers in the game for Columbia. Fordham showing blitz. Andrzejewski to throw, has his man. Sardo along the Fordham sideline, pushed out of bounds.
This is a nice look for Columbia, the 4 receiver look. It's very difficult for them to cover this. As long as the quarterback gets enough time to throw the ball, they should have open receivers all day long with that formation.
The Columbia staff feels that Andrzejewski is a real find. He played for a high-powered high school program in Colorado, but they did not throw the ball. So consequently, it was hard for people to judge how good he was as a quarterback. But Columbia found something they liked, recruited him, and they feel they've gotten a bona fide prospect at quarterback. Fossbender with the carry, hit for a loss on the play.
Fordham stiffens here real nice. Look at that. Defensive line is just standing their offensive lineman up. No place for the running back to run.
And Clarkson comes around from the backside to make the tackle. Again, Fordham wants its defensive line to enable the linebackers to make the play. Andrzejewski 6 for 13 for 59 yards. He's thrown an interception. 3rd down and 5. And it's incomplete, a misread somewhere, and that plagued Columbia last week. They had a number of receivers who ran incorrect routes, and it resulted in some interceptions. That time, Hayes and Andrzejewski not on the same page.
Well, that'll lose you your job in most instances at wide receiver if you don't run the right route. I can tell you that. You do that enough time, and it results in interceptions, and you're not going to be there.
Ray Tellier looking on, likes the position his team has with a 9-3 lead, wants to get some more points on the board before halftime. They're going for it on 4th down. Andrzejewski to throw, and it is incomplete. 2 men in the area, Munt and Sardo. The ball thrown low, no chance at either one having it, and on the incompletion, the ball goes over to the Fordham Rams. So a good job following the safety and the good field position after the ensuing free kick went out of bounds. The Rams stiffen defensively, and they keep it at 9-3.
That was important for Fordham because after they missed with their offense on 4th down, they couldn't let Columbia get points on that.
2 tight end alignment for the Rams. Garlick and Potamusis, the 2 wide receivers. Lone man in the backfield. And the pitch goes to Chris Ross, and the play strung out along the far sideline. And that did not fool the defense for Columbia.
He's lucky to get that one back. Let's see what happens. Catches the pitch. Fades a tackler. Ah, I see. The ball gets hit there. Knocked out. He gets it back. He does a good job of getting that ball back.
Tim Hawks, the junior cornerback from Jersey City, New Jersey, stripping the ball. Loss on the play. It's 2nd down. O'Lear looking to throw under pressure. Lofts one for Potamusis, who was covered on the play by Robinson, and O'Lear is shaken up.
O'Lear catches a good hit here. 91 Sean Nichols comes right in. He does a real good job here, O'Lear, though. His receiver was covered. He had plenty of time to throw that ball. He realized that he was going to get sacked, and he threw the ball out of bounds and took the hit. Better to have it 3rd and 12 than 3rd and 16. Real good job.
It's going to be officially marked as 3rd and 11. Adam Lang in the backfield. Twins to the right. Sean Harris split to the left. O'Lear fires it complete to Garlick. Garlick tries to stretch for the 1st down, cannot pick it up. It'll be 4th down, and the punting unit comes on.
Garlick's a little upset with himself that he didn't get the 1st down, but I'm telling you, this kid has given everything he has here. catches the ball, gets hit immediately, breaks one tackle, breaking another tackle, reaches out the ball. This kid's giving everything he's got. Just comes up a little short that time.
Second catch for the all-time leading receiver in Fordham history. Two men back deep. Munt back there along with Joe Hill for Columbia. Now the Lions want to talk things over. And they only had 10 men on the field. That'll do it. Somebody out there realized we were one short, called the quick timeout. And so they'll get 11 out there. And while we have this break, we remind you that in less than 2 weeks, Sports Channel drops the punt on the 92-93 hockey season. Catch the season opener as the Devils and the Islanders collide in a Patrick Division clash from the Meadowlands. The Islanders and the Devils season opener Tuesday, October 6th on Sports Channel. Montenegro back to punt once again for Fordham. His third punt, averaging 28 yards, his long 35. Again, it is Hill and Munt back to receive it. They're standing inside the 20-yard line. Almost blocked. Short punt. Munt handles it on the fly at the 25 and is hit immediately and brought down on the play. A 29-yard punt. Tackle made by Aaron Doherty. There's Conrad O'Leary. He's calling upstairs to the coaches, trying to find some help.
Yeah, those are the guys who are going to tell you what's going on, where your offensive line is breaking down, and what you have to do to win the ball game. He's getting a lot of information right now.
Less than 5 minutes to go. Columbia leading by 6, 9-3. A touchdown pass from Andrzejewski to Greenfield and a safety. The lone Fordham points coming on a Bob Hagan field goal. Here's a reverse to Munt, and Munt's got no one but his own teammates out there on the left side. Munt cuts it inside and is brought down inside the 45-yard line. And the man who broke that up was Brad Jordan. Jordan, the free safety, found some way to get through that picket fence and was able to disrupt the play.
This is a beautiful play by Columbia. They've had Fordham on their toes all game, guessing what they're going to do, and here they come with the reverse. Munt makes a good play, cuts back, breaks a tackle. With their different formations today, they've kept Fordham so off guard that they can do anything to them, it seems, right now.
Jordan interrupting the play, stopping it, or at least forcing it inside. A 29-yard gain. Here's the pitch to Robinson. Robinson juking and brought down after a short pickup. He's kept inbound, so the clock continues to roll. 4:10 to go in the first half. Robinson did run as a sophomore. He was a running back 2 years ago. He gained 170 yards, also caught 33 passes for over 400 yards. Last year, strictly a defensive back, and this year he's going to see two-way action, as will Des Worthman.
He's a dangerous kid, and Fordham made a nice play there to hold him to only 1 yard.
Hayes and Munt and Sardo, three receivers to the right-hand side. Spivey, the lone receiver, to the left. Andrzejewski throws, has the man cutting underneath, and that's Hayes. Lots of room for Ken Hayes. Hayes inside the 30, now inside the 20, and wrestled down by Jordan at the 15-yard line. A 29-yard pass completion from Andrzejewski to his favorite receiver in 92, Ken Hayes.
We got a crisscross here. And Hayes comes underneath the crisscross, makes a nice catch, and watch this kid run with the ball now. This is nice. Makes a move, fakes out a guy, gets a block, cuts back. Good player.
Hayes, coming back from knee surgery in 1989, has not lost a step. And that's so important, as you would know, Kurt, as a former wide receiver. You have to be able to catch the ball. That's step one. But it's what you do after you catch the ball that sometimes separates the average ones from the good ones.
Well, you have your big play receivers, and Ken Hayes is the big play receiver for Columbia. A big play receiver is a guy who, once he catches the ball, has the ability to run with it and get it in the end zone. Then you have your possession-type receivers, which I was often told that I was a possession receiver. Those are guys who can't really run too good, but they're going to catch anything in sight.
Fordham calls a timeout. They have one remaining. Columbia with 2 timeouts left. 3:27 to go in the first half. getting back to that point, does that offend a receiver when he's considered the possession type? Because that's just a euphemism for a step slow but good hands. Does that bother someone?
It might offend some receivers. It never bothered me. I was just tickled to be playing in the NFL, and anything that I could do in the NFL, I was happy to do.
1st and 10 for the Lions. Ball at the 15-yard line, looking to extend their lead. A running play, and that was to Kyle Branham. Branham, the sophomore fullback who started this game but has not seen much action. John Klosik has replaced him for the most part at the fullback spot.
Blażewski just plugged that right up. We got no gain or 1 yard on that. That was a real good defensive play.
Gain of 1 on the play. 2nd down and 9. Clock continues to roll. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Andrzejewski in the end zone. It's tipped, and it is incomplete. Jordan had it for a moment. Hayes also down there, and I think Hayes became the defender on that play as Jordan had his arms around it, and Hayes then knocked the ball free. We'll take a look.
I think the Rams had 2 opportunities to catch this ball. One by 29, and then one by what do we got here?
That was Hayes in the area. And Munt. There's Brad Jordan, almost came up with the interception.
And Brad Jordan, number 8.
But then Hayes knocking the ball away, and Columbia calls a timeout. Andrzejewski came to the line, did not like what he saw, and called a timeout. So the Lions have 1 remaining. Andrzejewski this afternoon, 6 for 15 for 59 yards, has thrown 1 interception. Last week, 20 for 36 for 181 yards.
I don't think Andrzejewski liked that last play. He threw into coverage. There were 2 Rams right there. I think he wants to go over the sidelines, talk things over, and perhaps make a better decision on this next play, being his 3rd and 9.
Andrzejewski last year earned a letter on special teams. It's not often you'll see a quarterback and a prospect at that playing on the special teams, but it's better than sitting.
This kid's a tough kid, and he's got a lot of athletic ability. As we're seeing today, he's very mobile. He doesn't stay in the pocket. He'll roll out. And special teams doesn't surprise me that he played it last year.
He had bone chips removed from his elbow during surgery in the spring, but has fully recovered. And the 6'3", 180-pound junior has Columbia knocking at the door. 3rd down. Andrzejewski for Munt, again coming underneath. Munt dives forward toward the 5, and he's got the 1st down. That play has worked 3 or 4 times this afternoon, and a number of those times on this drive.
Let's take a look at this. It's a full 9-step drop, delayed pass to Munt coming under, wide open, gets it down to the 5-yard line. There's some hard hitting going on down there, I'll tell you that.
2nd catch for Munt this afternoon for 25 yards.
Number 24, Dave Kratz, came in and put some hit on there.
1st and goal at the 5. Des Worthman in the ball game at the fullback spot. He gets the call, keeps the feet going, but is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Last week he ran for 2 touchdowns, carried the ball 5 times for 5 yards, but did score twice, and we'll take a look at it.
I believe that was Doherty right here, stuffing things up. 3 Rams. No place for him to run.
After the game, Worthman was asked how did he feel about scoring, and his 3-word answer was, I loved it. Hard to blame a defensive player when he's going to get his hands on the ball offensively. They fake to Worthman, but it does not fool Tony Mano. Mano sacks Andrzejewski back beyond the 10-yard line. Loss of 7 on the play, and it's 3rd and goal from the 12.
This was real nice contain here. Number 55, Aaron Doherty, contain the play. Very nice. That's his job. Don't let anybody get outside you, especially a quarterback.
Mano, a junior from Pomona, New York, making the stop. It almost looked like Andrzejewski was looking for some help there. Might have been a bit of a busted play. At any rate, 3rd and goal. Has time. Throws incomplete. Sardo, the intended receiver, Kratz on the coverage. And it'll be 4th down and a field goal try as B. Teal trots onto the field. Again, if you're just joining us, that's B as in Bart, but he prefers just to use the first initial, so everybody calls him B. A 28-yard field goal try, Jason Doolittle to hold. It is up, and it is good. So Columbia extends its lead to 12-3, but don't forget that last year Columbia had a lead before Fordham came back late in the game to come away with the 20-16 win. So Columbia not resting at this point, but happy with the advantage that they have.
That was important for Columbia to come up with some points there. They got the ball down to the 5-yard line, and were looking like they were going to get in and score a touchdown. So it's nice to have that 3 points in your back pocket.
In that game last year, over at Wayne Stadium at Baker Field, Fordham scored 13 fourth-quarter points to come back and win the game 20-16. Back deep to receive the kick, Sean Harris to the left of your screen, Tom Garlick to the right. Garlick, the second all-time kickoff return yardage leader, trailing just Mike Wilt. Wilt, we have not seen back there on kicks, and we have not seen much of him in the secondary. So we'll have to find out what the story is with Mike Wilt. We're assuming that he's got some sort of an injury that was not known to us before the game. Here's Harris, the speedster. Breaks one, and then he is tripped up as he crosses the 35-yard line. Gary Edmonds with the flying body block on Sean Harris. But Harris with a nice return, and Fordham with good field position, but not much time.
This is a real nice play by Harris, just catching the ball. They squib kicked it to him and hit the ground, and he was able to catch it and pick up some nice positive yards up to the 39-yard line. Real good play.
Harris stays in the game and goes wide to the right. Twin receivers toward the Fordham sideline. Fordham has one timeout. The pass to Garlick, did he catch it? Columbia says no. The near side official says yes, and so it's a completed pass up to the 45-yard line. Columbia adding 3 more points to their total on the Teal 28-yard field goal. The drive consumed 8 plays and 61 yards. 2nd down. O'Lear along the sideline to Potamoussis, catches it near the 1st down marker. Clock stops as he steps out of bounds. 18 seconds remaining in the half. He's either got the 1st down or it will be 3rd and short, and we may get a measurement here. David Harrison signals for the chains to be brought in, and so we will get a measurement here. Fordham hoping to move in 18 yards at least to field goal territory. Hagan with the lone scoring for Fordham, a field goal that gave the Rams a 3-0 lead. It was a 24-yarder, but since then Columbia has scored 12 unanswered points.
This is a nice break for Fordham that they're so close to the 1st down marker. The chains come in, they get to rest a little bit. They were in their hurry-up offense. They just ran 2 plays back-to-back. Your receivers going downfield, they're a little bit tired. This is nice. They get a chance to regroup. They'll have 18 seconds. Perhaps they can get a completion and maybe get a field goal out of this.
Coming up at halftime, Gary Sussman is scheduled to have an interview with Fordham Athletic Director Frank McLaughlin. And Gary and Kurt will take a look at halftime statistics and highlights. So we invite you to stay around for our halftime show. Just short, so it's 3rd and inches. 18 seconds left, and here's where it comes back to haunt you a little bit, because you've got to pick up the 1st down. You might utilize some time doing so.
Don't look for Fordham to run here, though. They got to put the ball in the air. There's only 18 seconds left. They've got maybe 2 more plays. They're gonna throw it.
The Rams do have 1 timeout remaining. Potamoussis and Garlick to the left side, Harris to the right, and they do go on the ground, surprising everyone. Iasello on the carry, and he's close to picking it up. Looks like he has, as the ball is just shy of midfield, and he does have the first down. But they took 12 seconds to run that play and pick up the first down.
Yeah, it took a lot of time to do that. I don't think I'd have run it in that situation, but I don't know what they were thinking about. Maybe get the first down and run as many plays as they can. Now they've only got 6 seconds left, though. It doesn't look too good for a score here.
Fordham uses his last timeout on the sideline for Fordham. That's Dave Gaffney, who has his number cut out through his hair. Yes, number 20. In case you couldn't catch it on the jersey when he took the helmet off, he wanted to make sure everyone knew who number 20 was.
Now, who does that? Do you get a barber to do that, or does your girlfriend do that for you?
Who knows? I guess anybody would do it if you gave them enough money. Six seconds remaining in the first half. I would suspect we're going to see some sort of a Hail Mary type of play. Fire it up in the air, look for the tip down near the goal line. We'll see what happens. Going out to halftime, Gary Sussman will be speaking with Fordham head coach Larry Glick to get his thoughts on his club's performance in the first 30 minutes. Let's see what happens here. 6 seconds left in the half. O'Lear stepping up, throwing it way downfield, and it is incomplete as time expires. Garlick down there. Joe Hill for Columbia had his hands on it. He was popped pretty hard, but at the end of the first half, Columbia has a 12-3 lead, and the Lions, Kurt, have to feel awfully good about the way things have gone in the first half. Down 3-0, scoring 12 unanswered points to take the 9-point lead. Let's go downstairs to Gary Sussman.
Thank you very much, Matt. At halftime, 12-3, Columbia on top of Fordham. I'm standing with Fordham head coach Larry Glick. Coach, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I think Columbia's done a very good job. They've kept us off balance. They've made some big plays from some of their people. Defensively, we're hanging in there. Offensively, we got to try to get something going. We got to mix things up.
Controversial safety call against Fordham. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I thought my kid made a great play, but unfortunately he was caught. He wasn't inside. The ruling is if you're inside the 5, your momentum carries you in. You get on the 20. They said he was on the 7. Tough play for a kid who made a nice play. So
I'd like to go back to the first half. You get the fumble on the opening play, a field goal by Hagan, his first of the year, and then Columbia drives right down the field.
Very disturbing. As I say, give Columbia a lot of credit. They played very well. They're keeping us a little bit off balance, and we still got 3 turnovers on them. We're just not getting enough points on the board. We gotta get back in the game offensively.
2 big plays near the end of the first half. Do you think your kids were getting a little tired defensively? They had been on the field quite a bit in that second quarter.
No, I don't think so. I think Columbia just made 2 big plays. They ran the reverse, and they ran that drag across pass. 2 good calls. We've seen it. We tried to practice it. They executed it. We didn't.
Okay, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Coach Larry Glick, head coach of Fordham University, as they trail Columbia in the first half of action at Coffey Field. Back to Matt Lachlan.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. We told you the keys to Columbia's success at the beginning of the game, and so far they've done well in 2 of the 3. They've played that physical game, and they've also found a bit of a running game, and they have a lead at halftime from Jack Coffey Field. Columbia leading Fordham by a score of 12-3.
We know how hard you work. We'll work that hard for you. We believe in putting people first in everything we do. Every time we fly, every mile of sky, everything we do. USA, USA begins with you.
If you're searching for a cool, refreshing experience, if you're looking for the real thing, then you've come to the right place. Coca-Cola Classic.
I see you got my message.
I see I'm not the only one.
As the greatest of baseball heroes, the Babe was the first to be honored both in movies and with the release of the Baseball Legends Gold Stamp Series. This official 23-karat pure gold Babe Ruth postage stamp is limited to 25,000 worldwide. Each stamp is protected in a special commemorative wallet with individual number and certificate of authenticity. A second Babe Ruth stamp, canceled on the first day of issue, is included on a special postcard with his lifetime stats on the back. This is a limited release only available during this special television offer. Call this toll-free number now and be among the first to own the official Babe Ruth Gold Stamp. It's a perfect gift for the baseball fan in your home, and it's only $34.95 for all this. Quantities are limited, so hurry. Here's how to order.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-235-1500 to get your 23-karat gold Babe Ruth stamp collection, now available for only $34.95 plus $4 shipping and handling. Or send check or money order to P.O. Box 2345-A, Grand Central Station, New York, New York.
Welcome back to Jack Coffey Field. I'm Matt Loughlin. Columbia on top by a score of 12-3 at halftime after trailing 3-0 early. They scored 12 unanswered points, and they take the 9-point advantage with them into the halftime locker room. Gary Sussman standing by down on the field, and he has Fordham Athletic Director Frank McLaughlin with him. Gary.
Thank you very much, Matt. And as you said, I am standing with Fordham Athletic Director Frank McLaughlin. The Fordham band is playing in the background. Fordham trails Columbia 12-3 at the end of the first half. First of all, welcome, and thanks for having Sports Channel here this afternoon.
This is great for us. It's great for our fans. I mean, Sports Channel has been terrific to us, and Columbia, we're not playing real well right now. Hopefully it'll change around the second half.
Talk to the fans a little bit about the Patriot League, Fordham's reasons for going into the Patriot League, and what it means in regards for recruitment both with football and basketball.
Well, our main reason was we just wanted to be with a group of schools that we agree with philosophy, both academically and athletically, and we've been in now 2 or 3 years, and it's been a tremendous move for us. I think everybody's very positive about it. The football we're being patient with. We thought it would take 5 years to really become competitive, and this is our 4th year. And I think overall we're doing well. The basketball, we have an excellent coach in Nick McCarchick. You know, we won the Patriot League this year and went to the NCAA. Our women's basketball, Chris Welgus, has done an outstanding job, and it's really a league that emphasizes the academics but also emphasizes all sports.
Fordham had achieved a measure of success as a Division III football school. Was there any consternation to move the program up to 1AA?
No, I mean, what happened was we were caught a little bit off guard. When we first talked to the Patriot League people, we thought it was just going to be a football league. But then when they said it was going to be 22 sports, we decided to commit to it. We knew it was going to take a long time to improve the football because we don't take junior college kids and transfers and things like that. So we've been very patient. We're pleased with what's happening.
And talk to us a little bit about the level of competition between Fordham and now the other schools that it's playing in all sports as compared to before you went into the Patriot League.
Well, there's a big difference, as Hofstra is noticing this year. There's a big difference between Division III and 1AA football. And this year is the first year where we've been competitive every game in 1AA football, and we have a very young team, so we're pleased about that. As far as the other sports are concerned, like basketball, when we first joined, everybody said, well, Bucknell, we don't really relate to Bucknell in basketball, but the rivalry has really picked up. So playing Bucknell and Lehigh, our fans have gotten pretty excited about it.
Now, as the athletic director, you oversee the entire athletic program, but you formerly roam the sidelines as a basketball coach. You ever get that bug to get back on the sidelines?
No.
I don't think a coach ever leaves a coach, does it?
No, I have no interest in that. The only time I had a coaching flashback was when the referee here today called the safety. I thought that was a bad call, but no, my job is, I think I am coaching. I'm coaching all the 18 varsity sports we have, and it's really to get good coaches, and we've been very, very fortunate. Dan Gallagher, our baseball coach, the coaches I mentioned before. We have Don Galuzzi, our swimming coach. We have excellent coaching staff, and they've done a really good job, and we're pleased with that.
Now, Fordham Columbia starting a sort of football tradition. Where do you think Fordham fits into the other traditions with the other metropolitan schools?
Well, within the Patriot League, we've always had a great tradition with Holy Cross and with Army now, and we're hoping somewhere in the near future to play Army and Navy in football. I think that the football part, Columbia has had it a long time. We would like to think that if we work really hard, we can become pretty good at this football. and we think we're making progress that way. But we do compete for kids.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to turn around in the second half and make Parents Weekend more of a pleasure for the parents who have come this afternoon.
Well, the weather's turned around a little bit. Now hopefully our team will turn around.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Frank McLaughlin, the athletic director for Fordham University. Back upstairs to Matt Laughlin.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. Again, the score at halftime, Columbia leading by a score of 12-3. The Fordham University bookstore, located in the Fordham Plaza, is happy to provide another year of service to the whole Fordham community. Books, stationery supplies, and Fordham insignia merchandise are available both at the games and at the bookstore. For a complete catalog on all Fordham apparel, call 718-367-5177. That's 718-367-5177. Still ahead on our halftime show, halftime highlights and statistics with Gary and Kurt. We're going to take a short break. It's Columbia on top by 9, 12-3.
All across the USA, for as long as we've been around, our passengers are our neighbors. This country's our hometown. Every time we fly, every mile of sky, everything we do, USA, USA begins with you.
Call now to order Arnold Schwarzenegger. Terminator 2, winner of 4 Academy Awards.
You just can't go around killing people.
Why? He's back and he's yours. Order now through this exclusive direct home video offer.
Stay down!
Don't wait any longer.
Go now!
Your order will be rushed direct to your door.
We gotta stick together!
Call now. This exclusive direct home video offer will be available for a limited time only. Rated R.
Call now to order Terminator 2 for only $19.98. For faster delivery, please have your credit card ready. Sorry, no CODs. Makes a great gift. Call 1-800-348-3553. That's 1-800-348-3553.
Whoa. A look at the picturesque Fordham campus here at Rose Hill. I'm Matt Laughlin. We're at halftime of our college football coverage as Columbia leads by a score of 12-3 over the Fordham Rams. For a look at halftime highlights and statistics, down to Gary and Kurt.
Thank you very much, Matt, and I'm very happy to say that the rain has subsided. There is no wind, and it's not a bad day for football, except right now if you're a Fordham fan as they trail 12-3. Your thoughts on the first half of action?
I think Columbia's offense showed a lot of imagination. They threw 5 or 6 different looks at Fordham's defense, and I think they kept them off guard. And in so, I think they were very successful in the first half, outplayed them.
And Ray Tellier, the coach of Columbia, had said that he thought Fordham was going to come right at them, a more straightforward, powerful team, but right now they have not presented any problem for the Columbia defense.
They're not. Columbia seems to be able to stop them whenever they want to, and that's the story of the game. I think Columbia is just outplaying the Rams in this first half of the ballgame.
And even though Fordham started off very well with a field goal, Columbia came right back, and I thought that was a momentum breaker for Fordham. Columbia coming right back on that first series and scoring a touchdown, negating the fumble and the field goal.
Yes, it was, definitely. The big play in that half was the interception by Fordham, though, that got turned into a safety. That's a tremendous momentum swing. I mean, you're supposed to have the ball on the 20-yard line, perhaps, and no, you've got to kick the ball away, and you've got to have 2 points go to Columbia.
A very controversial safety call. Let's take a look at the statistics from the first half of action at Jack Coffey Stadium. And as you will see, Columbia was the leader, 8-4 in first downs, rushing yardage by 30. And take a look at the passing, though, Kurt. 9 for 20 for Columbia, 7 for 13 for Fordham. But as you said, Columbia with a lot more offensive diversification, which certainly confused the Fordham defense.
Yes, they did. They threw everything in the book at Fordham in the first half offensively. Columbia did. And both teams, I have to say, passed surprisingly well. The numbers are pretty good for a day where the field is wet, it was raining, the ball is wet. I think they've thrown the ball surprisingly well today.
And the footage was surprisingly good out on the field. There was not that much problem with the footing a few times, but really a good half of football considering the weather. Let's take a look at a few halftime highlights. And first of all, we're going to start off with the first play of the ball game.
What do we have here? Okay, we've got the fumble, the Columbia fumble. I think it's supposed to be some sort of passing play that gets messed up, and Fordham jumps on the ball, Fordham ball.
And that set up,
line, I believe.
Yep, and that set up the first field goal of the ball game, and Fordham jumped on top by a score of 3-0. But Columbia marches right down the field, and an excellent drive by the Columbia Lions, capped off by this touchdown pass to Greenfield, and you will see it right there.
Greenfield came from the other side of the field, was wide open. The play action held Fordham's defense. That was a real nice play. He had 5 yards of open area to catch that ball. Can't ask anything more than that.
And an excellent drive by Columbia. And now the most controversial play of the first half. Take a look at the interception and subsequent safety call against Fordham. Now, right there is what the officials said was the reason that they called the safety. The stiff arm indicated to them that the defender was going to go back upfield. And after seeing the replay, I see where he did turn his shoulders, but it seemed that his momentum was going in the direction of the end zone. As a former receiver, having been on both sides, your thoughts on that?
Well, it's just a total judgment call by the referee there. Unfortunately, there was a good interception made by Fordham, and there's a safety that ensued, and that just happened. That's football. Sometimes that happens.
And as you said, what that did is it made Fordham then have to punt again. The defense was back on the field again, and the defense was on the field for quite a long time in the second quarter in this first half of action. Columbia leading by the score of 12-3. Those are the halftime highlights and the halftime statistics. Back upstairs to Matt Lachlan.
It's hot. It's burning. It's Freehold Hyundai Jeep Eagle Mitsubishi's midsummer sale. All prices have been slashed, and factory rebates have never been higher. Like a 92 Eclipse, sale priced at $119 a month. 92 XL, sale priced at $79 a month. A rugged Cherokee Laredo reduced to just $16,695. These low midsummer prices are why Freehold Hyundai Jeep Eagle Mitsubishi is the largest volume dealer in Monmouth and Ocean counties. Freehold Hyundai Jeep Eagle Mitsubishi, Route 9 South, Freehold, New Jersey. Hurry while selection lasts.
We basically promised in writing what we practice, what we try to achieve every day. Excellence in customer service and excellence in programming. In very clear and specific language, the Customer Bill of Rights covers installation, billing inquiries, access to customer service representatives, programming, and a range of technical services. It's a way for each subscriber to measure their quality of service. It holds all of us at Monmouth Cablevision accountable to a standard of excellence our customers have a right to expect.
If you want to clear overgrown areas, you could struggle with a shaky sickle bar mower like this, or with a handheld brush cutter like this. Or instead, you could cut tall grass and weeds, brambles, sumac, even hardwood saplings up to 1 inch thick with the amazing DR Field and Brush Mower. The Field and Brush Mower chops most everything it cuts. There's no tangled brush to trip over or to pick up. And those big self-propelled wheels roll right through ditches, over bumps, and logs with ease. The DR is not for your lawn, but what a job it does with meadows, roadsides, fence lines, walking paths, and woodlots. You can clear and maintain them all with the DR, every few weeks, once a season, whenever you want. A big color catalog is just $2. Call toll-free 1-800-423-1200. That's 1-800-423-1200 for your big color catalog all about the amazing DR Field and Brush Mower.
the California Golden Bears, the Stanford Cardinal. It's Pac-10 football with Cal and Stanford, both battling on the gridiron, right here on Sports Channel America. Sports Channel will keep diehard fans on edge all winter long with baseball's greatest games.
And there goes the Michigan State and all of Tigerdom.
Baseball's greatest games returns October 26th on Sports Channel.
Back at Jack Coffey Field, I'm Matt Lachlan, along with me, Kurt Sohn and Gary Sussman. We are at halftime, Columbia on top of the host Fordham Rams by a score of 12-3. One of the nation's leading caterers, Marriott Corporation, is proud to be entering its second decade serving the Fordham community. The new state-of-the-art dining facilities are prepared to take care of the needs of the most discriminate diner. For any catering needs at either Rose Hill or Lincoln Center, call 718-579-2334. That's 718-579-2334. So far, Columbia running the ball well, passing effectively, and defensively coming to the forefront. Basically, their game plan has gone exactly as they would have liked to have it. And whether or not it'll hold up for another 30 minutes remains to be seen. But right now, they'll enjoy the 12-3 advantage. As the teams come out onto the field for the second half, let's send it back down to Gary Sussman.
Thank you very much, Matt. And sports information departments throughout the country are always coming up with unique and novel ways to publicize their All-American candidates. Well, here at Fordham, as you can see, they have used a matchbook to publicize the Blaze, Mark Blażewski. He is a 1992 All-American candidate. He is the Patriot League preseason Defensive Player of the Year, and a nice little matchbook with all of the Blaze's stats on the back. My question is, what is Columbia going to do with Des Worthman, who has been all over the field this afternoon? Nothing really rhymes too much with Des Worthman, except the fact that he is one heck of a football player. Back upstairs to Matt.
You're absolutely right on that call, Gary, and we have not been disappointed. You know, there are times, Kurt, as we look at Blażewski, when we focus on players at the beginning of the game and say, keep an eye on these two guys because they are going to be dominant players, and for whatever reason, it doesn't work out. But I think this time we've been pretty accurate in our portrayal of who to keep an eye on.
Oh, absolutely. Those the two linebackers, respectively, from Columbia and from Fordham, they're making most of the tackles out there. I just want to say that I'm really impressed with Columbia's offense and the different looks that they've given Fordham's defense. They've got to be totally confusing, that defense. They've come with 4 wide receivers, 3 wide receivers, 2 wide receivers with 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers with 1 tight end. They're throwing everything in the book at them, and they're being very successful. They're throwing on first down. They're running reverses. They've really opened up their offense, and it's got to be giving fits to the Fordham defense.
So the challenge is there to that Fordham defense and defensive coordinator Joe Gambardella. What do you begin to shut down to force Columbia to make adjustments? Since they throw so much at you, how do you begin changing Columbia's approach?
You have to shut them down on first and second down. You have to get them into long third down situations. If they're going to be successful on first and second down with you, they're going to have an easy day of it. If you've got third down and 2 or 3, you're going to make a high percentage of those. They've got to put them in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 situations. In other words, they've got to stop them cold on first down. Once they do that, then maybe they can get back into this game. But if they don't stop the Columbia offense in the second half, they're not going to win the football game.
Next week, Fordham keeps it in the Ivy League as they will play the University of Pennsylvania, as we look at Conrad O'Lear, the senior quarterback, loosening up on the sideline. In fact, for the next 2 weeks, Fordham will play Ivy League opponents. Pennsylvania here at Jack Coffey Field next weekend, and then on the road up to New Haven, Connecticut to play Yale University. So they'd like to get started with a win against the Ivies here this afternoon. Sean Harris and Tom Garlick back to receive B. Teal's second half opening kickoff. Columbia looking to maintain the momentum they generated in the first half. Harris, the speedster, breaks through a hole and is wrapped up at the 40-yard line, and he has looked very good indeed on kickoff return.
I really like the way this kid runs. He's got a lot of speed, and he manages to see the open hole and gets everything out of it. And he's excited. Look at him. He's raising his hands up in the air. This kid wants to win.
O'Lear, 7 for 13 in the first half for 78 yards, was sacked once. He's got great leadership qualities. He'll need them to spark this Fordham comeback. Ball is loose, a fumble on the play. Sean Nichols causes the fumble, and it is recovered by the Lions. Adam Yellowshan comes up with the fumble recovery, and if Columbia was looking to maintain the momentum, that's the way to do it on the first play.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I like the play selection, though. I like Fordham coming out and passing on the first down. It's unfortunate what happens here. They get a sack and the ball gets loose. But Fordham's got to open the offense up, and I'm glad to see that they came out throwing.
Yellowshan, a junior, coming up with the fumble recovery, and Nichols has made his presence felt this afternoon. He's played a heck of a game from the left end spot. On the pitch, the ball is loose again. It is still on the turf. And who's got it? The Rams. Consecutive fumbles, and Fordham comes up with the ball. Chris Tyrone with the fumble recovery, the senior out of Fair Lawn, New Jersey.
We got an option play here, and the pitch seems to get there okay. No, it doesn't get there okay. There's a mishap right on the catch of it. Lets it go, almost gets it back, but Fordham hustles and comes up with the ball. That's a big break for Fordham here.
Tyrone with the fumble recovery. Ryan Reiner crashing down on an attempted pitch from Andrzejewski. Iacella with no gain on the play.
Worthman was all over that play. He just stuffed it up right in the middle.
There's Tyrone, the 5'11", 195-pound senior. 3-year starter at that strong safety spot. And if you're Fordham, you're looking to your seniors to provide some leadership as you try to come back from this 9-point deficit. We are early in the third quarter, just underway, less than a minute gone by. John Potamoussis and Tom Garlick split wide to the left. And the 25-second clock expires for the second time in this game. Second time that Fordham's been penalized for their inability to get the play off in the 25-second allotment.
That's an important penalty. 2nd and 8, and now it's 2nd and 13. It's a big difference.
They're going to mark it back inside the 30-yard line, 2nd and 13. I formation. O'Lear out in the flat for Garlick. Garlick spins away from the defender, brings it up near the 40-yard line. Covered on the play by Calveric. Garlick doing a good job after he catches the ball of spinning away. He's the all-time Fordham leading receiver, and when he gets open, he can do something with it.
This was some kind of a zone that Columbia was in because they were way off of Garlick. He makes a nice catch and a nice run. Puts him in 3rd and 4. This is nice.
4th catch of the afternoon for Garlick. He's got 17 on the season. Potamoussis in motion on 3rd down. O'Lear has a man wide open, and Potamoussis instead goes underneath to Garlick. Potamoussis found himself wide open at about midfield, but Garlick instead winds up grabbing the pass.
Garlick is wide open too here. He just runs a little stop pattern here to the outside. They're in his zone coverage, Columbia. Nobody's on him man-to-man. They're giving him that. He takes it, turns upfield, and hangs onto the ball. This is the type of football Fordham's going to have to play in this half to win this game.
1st and 10. Ball near midfield. O'Lear incomplete through the hands of John Strauss, the junior tight end.
Coming with the pass again on 1st down. They're going to have that Columbia defense guessing in a few downs here.
Columbia with an injured player on the turf. And it's Mark Calveric, the rover back, the junior out of Orchard Park, New York. Injuries, one thing that will hurt Columbia's chances for any kind of success this year. Ray Tellier says we've got the best 22 players we've had since I've come here. But he said we don't have a lot beyond that. We can't afford to have players drop on us. And if you look at the injury list as Calvera comes off, you spoke about it earlier, 3 offensive linemen, 2 seniors and a junior out already. Last week, They lost wide receiver Dennis Lafferty to a shoulder sprain. They have been hurt by injuries, and it is not something that they can withstand. Let's see whether or not Calvera comes back to play later on. He didn't seem to be too badly injured. Second down. Going for it all, going for the home run ball, and it is incomplete. Garlick ran into free safety Joe Hill and couldn't free himself. O'Lear also hit on the play.
Big pressure on your quarterback O'Lear here. He rolls out to the left side here a little bit, and from his blind side where he can't see somebody, bang. Hit him right when he let the ball go.
That was Sean Nichols, and watch what happens on the other end. Garlick running right into Joe Hill.
3rd and 10. That's a clean play. It's a good defensive play. He got in his way. He didn't mean to. It just happened.
Ray Tellier looking on from the sideline. Single setback is Iasello. Potamoussis in motion on 3rd and 10. Wide open is the tight end underneath Strauss. Strauss kicks up the first down as he's down near the 35-yard line. Run out of bounds by Tim Hawks. 15-yard pickup on the play.
I really like this play. They roll out to the left and go against the grain to the left tight end, cutting back, wide open. This is a good play.
That's a play that worked very effectively for Columbia in the first half.
Exactly.
And now Fordham using that play here early in the second half. Calvaric is back in the game for Columbia, so it was just a momentary absence for the junior Rover back. On the handoff, Helverson stopped for no gain.
Columbia's defense is really getting tough in here. Just standing people up, going no place.
This is one area, Kurt, where Columbia opponents will notice a difference this year. It is a bigger, more physical team than Columbia has had in the past. Perhaps not quite as physical as Fordham is, but it is a much more physical team than Columbia has had in many, many years. Pass out for Garlick. It's incomplete.
Looked like O'Lear slipped a little bit on that play.
The turf is held up remarkably well. And we've got to give credit to Marty Zwirin, the assistant athletic director for athletic facilities here at Fordham. He was telling us several hours before game time just exactly what he and his crew had done in order to make this field playable. There was a tarp put on from the 20 to the 20. They have a machine that removes water from the turf, and you really don't see any of the standing water anymore where you saw in some places at the beginning of the game. So they've done a good job, and we've been fortunate that the rain has stopped. Here's a pitch. Helverson's gonna throw, launching one for Potamoussis, and I thought he had it. He had it for a moment, and as he came to the ground, the ball popped free. Helverson with the option pass, excuse me.
This is some pass by Helverson. This guy throws a perfect spiral right on the money. He just throws it a couple inches too far, and Potamoussis can't hang on. He's got it for a second, but as he hits the ground, it jars the ball loose.
And Hill had an arm in there to try to knock the ball free. Almost a magnificent touchdown catch by Potamoussis. Montenegro with the punt, and a 26-yard punt handled by Hill inside the 10-yard line.
That's an excellent punt by your punter. You want to get that ball inside the 10-yard line. If he kicks it into the end zone, it comes back to the 20. Now they got to start from the 9-yard line. They've got to go 89 yards. Makes it tough.
Just at the last moment, Hill with an arm on Potamoussis' shoulder, and that was just enough to prevent the hookup for the score.
So close.
Hill, a junior defensive back out of Woodbridge, New Jersey. In high school, he was a teammate of Columbia's outstanding basketball player, Buck Jenkins. Long way to go, though, for Columbia at this point. They're pinned deep in their own territory. Kevin Robinson gets the call, goes right side. The ball is free. Flags thrown on the play. Columbia says, we've got it back. Fordham says, no, we fumbled it. Rather, recovered the fumble.
Everybody's pointing.
We got to check out the flag. The ball goes over to Fordham, but let's check out the flag.
Oh, he lost it. Didn't even get hit. His own man jarred it loose on him. The guy blocking for him.
The flag was thrown because of holding against Columbia. That is turned down. And Fordham has the ball at the 12-yard line.
Big break for the Rams here. They've got to capitalize on this and get some points.
And the pressure is on the defense. Fordham threw 13 passes in the first half. O'Lear has thrown 7 already here in the third quarter as they look to come from behind. His 8th pass is incomplete, but a flag on the play. Intended for Corey Harper, but a flag thrown on the play. And I believe we're going to see pass interference as the call. That is the call, and we'll look at it.
I believe this is Corey Harper, number 89, who gets pretty much tackled while he's trying to catch the ball. Just a little late by the defender. I mean, a little early by the defender.
So it is first down. Ball at the 7, goal to goal from that point. Fordham down 12-3. Last year they came from behind to defeat Columbia by a score of 20-16. Looking to come from behind once again. Helverson goes left side, bounces off a couple of tacklers, and he is in. Helverson did not quit. Ran left side, ran into a bunch of defenders. But when no one brought him down, he found some room to skip into the end zone.
This is all individual effort by Helverson. He stopped at the line of scrimmage with no place to go. He sees there's a little bit of an opening to the outside and uses his speed to get into the end zone. Here we see it right here. Stopped. Watch him turn it on here to get in there.
O'Lear knew early.
Nice play.
Helverson, the leading rusher for Fordham, scores his first touchdown of the year. Hagan on for the extra point. Patamoussis to hold. And it is no good. It sails wide to the left as Hagan did not get all of it. And so Columbia has a 3-point lead.
Let's take another look at this touchdown and Halverson's individual effort here. He is just dead stopped by Columbia. And they overreact to it, and he turns it onto the outside to get into the end zone. There's a player. This kid's a player. He wants to win. Stop me the first time, but if you don't grab me, I'm going to score on you.
Everyone to the ball. Hard to fault that, but if nobody grabs the guy with the ball, he's wide open for a score. But that missed extra point.
Think these guys are excited there?
Well, they should be. They draw within 3, but the missed extra point could prove to be a very important missed point, as it's now a 3-point game, 12-9. Fordham trailing by 3. Ken Hayes and Robinson back deep to receive the kick from Hagan. Robinson returned 196 yards last week to the 1. They have a reverse as Hayes hands it off to Munt. Columbia pulling everything out of the playbook, and a strong job done by Fordham's Dave Schlendorf as he stays home, is not fooled by the reverse, and stops it from being an even bigger play.
Schlendorf, he makes it much easier for the Fordham to swallow this return. They only get it out to the 35. This could have been a lot worse. This could have been out to, who knows? They could have scored on that.
They do have the ball at the 35-yard line. Klosek, the single setback behind Andrzejewski, who throws incomplete, and he had his arm hit by John Clarkson. Clarkson coming in on the blitz, pressuring Andrzejewski.
Clarkson makes a nice play here. Good play. Get that pressure on the quarterback. He'll throw it all over the place.
Rather than hit the junior signal caller, he just caused him to pull up short on the release, actually. At any rate, an incompleted forward pass. It's 2nd and 10. To the air once again for Hayes, and it's complete out across the 40-yard line.
Hayes makes a good catch here. He falls to his knees. The ball is thrown a little bit low, goes down with it, and comes up with the catch.
Mike Wilt on the coverage.
This is nice. Fordham's pressuring the quarterback. Throws a wobbly low pass, and Hayes comes up with it. Big play, 3rd and 5 now.
5-yard pickup, 3rd down play. Blazewski showing blitz, now steps back. Andrzejewski back to throw. Finds his man out near the 1st down as he completes the pass to Mike Sardo. And it will be good for a 1st down. Big 3rd play, or 3rd down play for the Lions as the drive continues. His 3rd catch for Sardo, and 24 yards on the afternoon. Larry Glick looking on. His team has gotten back in the game, taking advantage of the fumble by Kevin Robinson and scoring on the Helverson run, but they do trail by 3. However, we are early in the 2nd half. Robinson back in the game for Columbia, and he gets the call and picks up about 1.5 yards. Blazewski wrapping him up. Let's send it down now to Gary Sussman.
Thank you very much, Matt. Talked to Bob Hagan, Fordham field goal and place kicker, about that missed extra point. If you can notice, you'll see that it's starting to get a little more eaten up at that side of the field as we go left to right. And he said that his foot just slipped when he tried to plant, and that's why he hooked the extra point. And right now, that could be a very big miss point. Back up to you, Matt.
Indeed, it could be, Gary, as it's 12-9 rather than 12-10. It remains to be seen whether or not there will be a major problem because of the misses. The ball comes free, and Fordham recovers its 2nd fumble of the 2nd half. Blazewski blowing in from the blind side.
I believe that Doherty. I think it was Doherty, number 55 from the blind side.
Aaron Doherty, the defensive end. You're right, the junior out of Northampton, New Hampshire.
This is a big play for the Rams. Columbia was moving the ball. They come up with the big play, the turnover. Got to get some points here.
5 fumbles on the afternoon for Columbia. 1 interception, 6 total turnovers. O'Lear looking for the home run ball for Garlick. It's overthrown. A flag thrown on the play. In the area of holding, and that is the preliminary call.
I like that Fordham is throwing on 1st down more now. Let's get a look at Garlick here. This is worth a try on 1st down. You got to keep that defense guessing. Look at, he takes the fake. Garlick beats him with ease. Just a little bit overthrown, but that's worth taking a chance. Plus, the defensive lineman and the defensive back, next time they come up on 1st down, they're going to go back and they're going to say, wait a minute, I don't know what they're going to do on 1st down. They may throw long again. Just keep them off guard a little bit.
Ball marked to the Fordham 49-yard line. Garlick will break from the huddle and head to the far sideline. 1st down and 23. Going to the air for Garlick. He's got some blockers. Cuts it inside. Gets inside the 45-yard line. Rick Brenders making the stop.
This is a good pickup. They got 1st and 20. They got to take a piece at a time. They got 7 this time. They're figuring they got to get 7 next time and eventually get that 1st down. That was a good play.
Garlick can go long. You have to respect him on the short pattern. He's a fine receiver. He's now off to the right-hand side, and the ball just overthrown to Adam Lang coming out of the backfield. So it'll be 3rd and long. Clock stops. 8:46 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Fordham's got to be careful not to make a mistake here. 3rd and 16 is a tough pickup. You don't want to throw an interception here and have the game turned around. Obviously, you want to get that 1st down, but...
And the way Montenegro has been punting, they wouldn't mind putting it into his foot and pinning Columbia if they can't pick up the 1st down. What a catch! Padamusis with the one-handed grab for a 1st down.
This kid makes some catch here. They throw right into the middle of coverage here. Does a little post pattern, curls it up a little bit, leaps up, grabs it in. That's a great catch.
6 foot, 200-pounder out of Lynbrook, New York. Big first down for the Rams. On the ground, Lang getting to the 20-yard line. Short pickup on the play. Padamusis has great hands, and he is moving up on the career reception ladder. Right now he's third. He came into the game needing 6 to tie Ed Brown for second on the all-time receiving list.
Well, I know he's at least got a great hand. You said hands, but that was some catch he made.
Great left hand at any rate for John Padamusis. Single setback is Lang. O'Lear once again to the air. Good coverage by the Lions. Garlick, the intended receiver, and he was popped by Danny Kale, the junior cornerback. That time, good coverage by Columbia, and O'Lear tried to force it in there.
Real tight coverage in the secondary there.
O'Lear in the first half, 7 for 13 for 78 yards. Here in the second half, 5 for 10 for 61 yards. 12 for 23 overall on the day for 139 yards for the senior out of Fair Lawn, New Jersey. 3rd down and 8. O'Lear under pressure, now spinning away. Nichols has him at the 30, and he flips it in the air, and it's picked off. Columbia's going to score as Des Worthman picks the ball up. There is a flag on the play back at the 40 near where O'Lear was sacked. If it's a touchdown, it's a 76-yard interception return by Des Worthman, but let's check out the flag. O'Lear coming off the field with his head down. He gets away from one player, then Nichols has him wrapped up.
He was doing a great job, O'Lear, getting away from people. There was not much to this play. There was a breakdown in his blocking. He was supposed to go right with it, turns around, fakes a guy out, gets around him. But once you're in the grass with one of those big linemen, it's better just to take your lumps.
And Des Worthman, rambling and rumbling, 76 yards for a score. The senior scoring his 3rd touchdown of the year, and that could be a backbreaker as Fordham had momentum, but now they trail by 9.
This is Worthman's first touchdown on defense, though. Those taste a little sweeter to the defensive players. He scored his other 2 as a running back. When you intercept the pass as a defender, they like that.
B. Teal on for the extra point. The penalty was a personal foul called against Fordham, so the touchdown stands, and now we have some movement. So Columbia leads by a score of 18-9. Their lead was threatened, and boy, the air just let out of the sails.
It's really tough to fault O'Lear, though. I mean, this kid is giving you everything he's got. He's faking people out. He's trying to get away from a defender who's got him around the waist. This is just an example of a kid who's trying too hard. It's a learning process.
Worthman on the sideline. Senior out of Wilmette, Illinois. Penalty was called against Columbia for illegal procedure, so Teal's got to set back and put it through, and he does not. He sends it off to the left, and so Teal not able to come up with the extra point, so the score stays at 18-9 with 7:28 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ray Tellier had a number of goals for his team this year. One of them was to win 5 games. And that doesn't sound like an awful lot, and he admits that his team may not think that that's an awful lot. But when you consider that Columbia has had just 5 wins in the last 4 years, and in the previous 4 years did not have a win at all, so really 5 wins in 8 years, that would be a major step forward for this program. He said this week that this game was very critical to his team's opportunity to win those 5 games. And right now they've got a 9-point lead, but a long way to go.
Let's look at O'Leary again here. He's giving it his effort here. He's trying to get to the outside. He gets grabbed and just makes the mistake of throwing the ball up, and Worthman's there. Worthman's everywhere.
And he scores Columbia's first touchdown on an interception return in 16 years. Rich Witherspoon returned one 43 yards in 1976 against Cornell. The longest returned interception was by James Witherspoon in 1981, 96 yards. Worthman's 76 yards. Garlick and Harris to receive the kick. That personal foul that I called was post-interception, so it was marked off on the kickoff. That's why Teal is back so deep on the kickoff. Garlick with the return. Looks to get to the outside. Crosses midfield. Gets a block. Down the sideline and finally steps out of bounds. So Fordham at least will have good field position.
Garlick just ran out of room there. He had some blockers in front of him and just couldn't really turn the corner. Just ran out of field. He'd have picked up 10 or 15 more yards on that play.
Well, now we'll see whether the senior leaders can reach down and give Fordham a lift. They were moving the ball, and then the interception return changes things around, but lots of time remaining. 7:20 to go in the third quarter. It's a 9-point Columbia lead. O'Leary will go to the air one more time. Flips one, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Joe Hill, the junior free safety, and O'Leary just kind of threw it out there.
That was shocking what happened just there. If you look at the bottom of the screen, though, you've got Garlick, who just returned that kickoff, who might be his #1 receiver. Garlick was huffing and puffing before that play, trying to catch his breath. I don't think he's got a man open. He just throws it right over Potamoussis' head.
That's what it was. And on the sideline, as we look at Joe Hill, Fordham is loosening up backup quarterback John Pullman. So we may see a change at quarterback. Columbia with the ball, leading by 9. Heavy pressure. Out to Hayes. And Hayes across the 30-yard line. Tackle on the play by Kurt Geisler. And there's the sophomore out of Brentwood, New York, John Pullman. He had a solid spring, but was beaten out for the starting job by Conrad O'Leary. If he does come in, it will be his first varsity appearance as a Fordham Ram. Fordham may be looking for a spark from the quarterback position. 2nd down and 5 following the 5-yard pickup. Blazewski shows blitz. Andrzejewski finds Hayes, but it's knocked away. Good defensive play by Mike Wilt. Wilt all over Hayes. Hayes, a political science major, and lists among his hobbies wiffle ball. Better than the standard. Like to read, like to listen to music, watch some soap operas. Guy likes to play a good game of wiffle ball. 3rd and 5. Not earth-shattering, I just mentioned it, that's all. Andrzejewski to pass. Little trouble with the exchange. Now lofts one, looking deep, and it's knocked away by Wilt. Hayes, the intended receiver, so on that series, they go short and long to Wilt.
Yeah, Fordham's defensive line is putting a lot of pressure here on Andrzejewski. And Wilt comes up with his 2nd defensive pass in a row. Playing good defense.
Pat O'Doherty applying the hit as Andrzejewski let the pass go. Jamie Schwalbe on to punt. His 3rd punt of the afternoon, averaging 32 yards per punt. This is a short one. Garlick from the 40-yard line and is downed immediately. A flag thrown on the play. Brought down on the play by Jim Hudnall, a reserve defensive back. But let's check out the flag. A 25-yard punt, a 1-yard return for Garlick. David Harrison, our referee, indicating the penalty against Fordham. It's a delay of game indication. And I think what they're saying is that Garlick maybe signaled for a fair catch. That's what it was. Signaled for a fair catch and then try to run with it. So the delay of game, and there was the signal for the fair catch. It does bounce to him. He says, well, no fair catch. Let's try to run it. But
being it bounced, the fair catch is off, he figures.
New quarterback in the game. It is John Pullman making his first varsity appearance. Pullman rolling to his left, looking for Potamoussis, and Potamoussis holds on near the 40-yard line. So on 1st and 15, they pick up the 5 they lost on the delay of game penalty.
That's important for your new quarterback to come into the game and complete a pass right away. Now his confidence is going. They're going to need this guy to throw some passes down the stretch if they're going to get back into this game.
5th catch for Potamoussis. He needs one more to tie Ed Brown for 2nd on the Fordham list of career reception leaders. The Rams down by 9, 18-9. They closed to within 3 at 12-9 before Des Worthman went 76 yards with an interception. Pullman to Potamoussis out near midfield, and that reception ties him with Ed Brown for 2nd on the all-time Fordham career reception list.
2 in a row for Pullman. Just sprints out to the right-hand side, finds his receiver, and throws it on the run. Doesn't even set himself.
And Potamoussis came back to him also to help his young signal caller. 3rd and 3. I formation. Twins to the left side. Pullman on at quarterback, replacing Conrad O'Lear. Pullman's going to tuck it in, and he stopped just short. Tackle made by Gary Kasperzak, and he's just short of the 1st down.
This is a good play, though. He gets positive yards on this. He goes back to throw. Somebody jumps in his way, so he can't throw the ball. Tucks it down. Gets very close to the 1st down. They may go for it on 4th down here now.
4:24 to go in the 3rd quarter. And Fordham now wants to call a timeout and talk things over. So a timeout called. A 4th down play apparently forthcoming. Sometimes after calling a timeout, you're talked out of it. But I think that Larry Glick and his coaching staff sensed some momentum building. Pullman's come on, he's completed 2 passes, run for close to a 1st down, and they don't want to take the ball out of his hands right now.
I'm impressed with Pullman, very impressed. He came on his first series. They started 1st and 15 because of the penalty, and he's been able to get them down to 4th and 1.
Don't forget, Rhode Island takes on Hofstra at 7:30 p.m. this coming Friday night, live and exclusive on Sports Channel. The Flying Dutchman taking on Rhode Island. Also, don't forget that Hofstra plays Towson State tonight on Sports Channel. Well, there are a lot of things you can do on 4th and about the length of a football. The important thing from Fordham's standpoint is to get the 1st down. Don't forget, Columbia has played some tough defense on 3rd and short and 4th and short already in this ball game. Fordham has gone for it once before on 4th down. They were unsuccessful. Full house backfield. And the easiest play in the book for the 1st down, the quarterback keeper.
Easiest play if you've got a good center. If you don't have a good center, don't run that play.
Well, then let's credit Neil Penttinen for the snap.
Give the center the credit for that 1st down.
So Fordham maintains possession. They are in Columbia territory, down by 9. Let's send it down to Gary Sussman.
Very quickly, Matt, the insertion of John Pullman at quarterback has energized this Fordham sideline. This could be a key juncture if Fordham is going to come back against Columbia. Back to you, Matt.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. Once again, the I formation look. It's Helverson for about a yard. Now the ball comes free. Helverson still has it. Gain of about a half a yard or so, not much at all. Helverson scoring the lone Fordham touchdown this afternoon. He's carried the ball 10 times now for 32 yards.
Not much there for Helverson. No hole at all. He's I don't know if his offensive lineman slipped or what happened, but Columbia's defense is stiffening up against the run anyhow.
Big game for both sides, looking for their first win in '92. Holman rolling out, has Patamoussis, now looking deep, takes it himself, breaks the tackle, and is brought down at the 47-yard line. Things happen so quickly. Holman has to make reactions that he normally can make in practice, but when it's for real, you got to make them faster.
He's got a guy in his face. He loses his first receiver and can't pick up his next receiver. I don't like this. They got people jumping on the quarterback almost like after the play. Got to stay off that quarterback.
Come on, man! 3rd down and 7. Holman looking for Garlick on the sideline. He's got him for a first down inside the inside the 35-yard line.
This is a nice play by Garlick. He runs out, plants, comes back to the ball a little bit, and gets hit right in the chest with it. Good pass.
He is such a threat. You have to respect him deep. We saw him earlier in this half just go past the cornerback. An incomplete pass as it turned out, but still, you've got to respect his speed to go deep. So when you loosen up, he's going to take that short route. And in this case, they pick up a first down on it.
The good ones make it look easy, and Garlick's making it look easy right now.
6 foot, 185-pound senior out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A 4-year starter, the only 4-year starter on the Fordham team.
Give Pullman some credit, too. He's getting that ball right there.
This time, Garlick goes off to the top of your screen, left side of the Fordham line. Double tight end look. Strauss and Harper in there for the Rams. The handoff to Iasello, and Iasello stopped at the line of scrimmage. Columbia with a lot of defenders up at the line of scrimmage in that 2 tight end formation of Fordham.
Their defense is just swarming against the run. Iasello runs hard in there and gets hit by 2 guys. Here comes another guy. Swarming all over him. Good defensive play.
Worthman and Brenders, the linebackers, combining for the stop. 2nd down, under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Fordham trailing by 9, but they have the ball in Columbia territory. The sophomore again back to pass. Looking for Garlick, and it is incomplete.
Real nice protection here by the Fordham line. Really protected Pullman good. He rolls out to the left-hand side here. You can't really see him. Okay, Garlick tries to come back and just
almost
slips.
make the catch. We'll look at it one more time.
Real
come back.
Real good protection there. Muddy field.
Gives the effort, but it's an incompleted pass. 3rd down. Straight back to pass. Under pressure, and he is sacked. Back at the 39-yard line, John Jennings with the sack, the junior reserve defensive end.
Columbia's defensive line is pumped up. Who do we got coming in here?
Everybody.
Everybody's coming in here.
Initially it was Kasperzak, and then the sack made by John Jennings.
John Jennings to finish him off.
So Montenegro back in to punt once again. Munt and Hill back to receive it. Good high punt. Munt handles it inside the 10 and steps out of bounds there. 30-yard punt for Montenegro. 50 seconds remaining.
Good job by Montenegro, pinning him back again. That's the 2nd time he's punted the ball to the 9-yard line. Real good job.
50 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Last year, Fordham scored 13 fourth-quarter points to pull out the 20-16 win. Columbia was leading 16-7 before Fordham rallied to pull it out. On the ground, this is Blajewski with the pursuit on Brainham. And watch the man.
Blajewski stuffing it up inside, moving to the outside. Let's see the speed here of Blajewski. He's able to just run the running back down. That shouldn't happen. Nice play.
He's got good speed. He's a good one. Whether or not he'll be drafted remains to be seen, but I imagine there's some team in the NFL that will give him a look somewhere. Incompleted pass, Casey Blair, the intended receiver. Tyrone on the coverage. Clock stops with 8 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Just when you thought Columbia might get conservative on you, they go to the air again.
12 for 27, excuse me, Kurt, for 118 yards and the touchdown and 1 interception.
Columbia doesn't seem to have a fear of throwing anywhere on the field, even down there on the 11-yard line.
Defensive coordinator Joe Gambardella wants his team to come up with a big play here on 3rd and 8. Straight back to pass. Flips one to the man coming out from the inside position. That's Mike Sardo.
Sardo makes a nice play there. Stops him short of the first down.
They send 2 guys long, and they bring the inside receiver to the flat. That has worked effectively throughout the first 3 quarters. It works well there, but not enough. It's 4th down, and Columbia will be punting when we come back. Right now, the third quarter has come to an end, and it is Columbia leading by 9, 18-9 over Fordham.
TV 34 News, the place to turn for the latest on your state, your town, your neighborhood. TV 34 News, from the State House to your house, from the suburbs to the shore. We cover the stories that cover your world. So tune in to Monmouth Cablevision's award-winning news team, weeknights at 6:30 and 10:30, only on TV 34.
Back at Jack Coffey Field, Silvestri's Carpets, located at 2373 Belmont Avenue in the Little Italy section of the Bronx, featuring the Ashley Carpet Collection by Salem. Ashley has 8 new styles featuring 342 of the most beautiful colors ever available in the carpet industry. Extended warranties and superior construction make Ashley Carpets a great beginning to home sweet home. Tomorrow's color and styling today. For free estimate and shop at home services, call 1-800-675-7474. Brad Jordan with the 12-yard punt return. Fordham has excellent field position, down by 9.
Jordan's limping coming off the field now. He made a nice, nifty return there. Only 12 yards, but he sidestepped a couple guys. He's working hard. He's trying to get it done. Cuts left, goes up, sidesteps a guy. That's pretty. Keeps going through. He takes a hit and takes a little bit of a late hit there. You can just about see the guy piling on.
First down and 10. John Coleman in for his second series for the Fordham Rams. The pass is tipped, knocked around, and falls incomplete. Gary Kasprick knocking the ball down.
Kasprick gets his hand up, knocks the ball down. Nothing frustrates an offense more than to get passes knocked down. Here it is again.
Watch Pullman to see if anybody does intercept the ball. He wants to be in position to bring him down. As it turns out, it falls harmlessly to the ground. Holman now 3 for 5 for 23 yards. Quick drop and fires the ball short of Patamoussis. The first series, he ran very well, ran the offense very well. We'll get back to that point in just a moment. Down to Gary Sussman.
Thank you very much, Matt. Keep an eye out for number 54 for Columbia, J. Don Johnson. J. Don went out with a hyperextended right knee. They taped him back up. He's back in the ball game, but he said it happened to him last year against Dartmouth, so that right knee is suspect. You'll have to keep an eye out. As far as Brad Jordan, he's back in good shape, and he wants to go back in the ball game. Back up to you, Matt.
All right, Gary, thanks for that injury report. 3rd and 10. We'll get to that point about Holman running the offense after this play. Straight back to pass. Looking for a man, and he fires it incomplete. What I was going to say, Kurt, is he came in that first series, ran very well, ran the offense very well. Now, after he picked up that first down, it's been a little bit of a struggle.
Well, you could just see Holman lifting himself off the ground. The Columbia defense knocked him there again. They've got a lot of pressure on the kid now, and even the best of quarterbacks are going to throw errant passes and not do as well when you got all that pressure.
Montenegro back to punt once again. Hill and Munt back to receive it, standing at about their 10-yard line. Columbia setting up for a return. Good, high, spinning punt. Bounces inside the 10. The chase is on, but it gets into the end zone. And a break for the Lions as they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Now we're getting to that point of the game for Ray Tellier. Do you start to think clock protecting the lead, or do you look to continue to throw the ball, spread things out? If you're successful, you'll score what in all likelihood would be the put-away touchdown, but we're in the 4th quarter. You start to protect.
You've got to get your defense to make a big play. You've got to get your defense to cause a fumble, make an interception. You've got to get your defense going. Your defense has got to stop them or make a big play now.
Does Columbia go conservative, or they stay with what brought them to this point? Well, the answer to our question is Robinson gets the pitch, although he stopped in the backfield, and once again it's Blazieski making the stop.
I think that's something Columbia has to beware. They don't want to become too conservative. But again, they go to the option here. Blazieski is there again. Nice tackle. Nice pressure on the quarterback. Give him a little shot there. Here comes Blazieski. All he's got to do is hit him with one arm, knocks him down. Good defense.
He fought off the block of Pat Armstrong, and now we're going to have timeout called by Columbia. That'll give us a chance to develop the story. Pat Armstrong, who was injured and missed last week, but he's one of those upperclassmen. He's a junior who has come back on now here in the second half, and so the offensive line is bolstered by his return. And that's a story that will continue to develop for Columbia as they start to get their injured players back as the season goes on. Armstrong, very important.
They've done well today with having 3 offensive linemen, or 2 offensive linemen injured now.
Actually, well, now 2, you're right, because Armstrong is back. He's the right offensive tackle. He practiced this week. He had a sprained knee, missed last week. He is a junior. The other starters who are out and may return in the near term, but there's no full report as we look at Armstrong. John Coughlin, an offensive guard, and Matt Stream, who plays center and guard. But if they can get those guys back, that offense will look even more impressive as Armstrong back on here in the second half. 2nd down and 10 following the timeout. Long count, Andrzejewski back, throwing, completes it. That's Casey Blair at the 30-yard line.
I guess Columbia is not going to get conservative. They go right to the air again. Let's check out Armstrong on this play here. Maybe we can get an ISO on him. There he is. Nobody getting in, nobody close to the quarterback. Of course, he had a little bit of help from his from the inside, but nice play.
I'm sure it feels good to Armstrong to get back out on the field. 3rd down and short. Columbia leading 18-9, looking to snap a 7-game losing streak. Fordham also in the midst of a 7-game schneid. And we have a timeout taken again by Columbia. They're second in the last couple of plays, and that may prove to be an important factor as we get into the latter stages of this contest.
Well, they've got third and half a yard here. They don't want to mess this up. They want to call the right play to come up with the first down, maintain control of the ball, and it may come to haunt them that they don't have that timeout later on, but they feel that this is important enough for positioning the game to call a timeout.
They have just one remaining. Fordham with 2 timeouts left.
It's about time for that big play by the Fordham defense that I was talking about earlier. They can't continue to let Columbia make first downs on them. They've got to stiffen up here.
It's the keeper, but I don't think he got it.
It's going to be close.
It depends on that old left foot, right foot spot.
He had an initial surge, and then he was hit by somebody and got nothing else. It's going to be close.
Let's see where it is marked. He had to get to the 30-yard line, and the nose of the ball is short of the 30. It is 4th down, so the defense holds on the quarterback sneak.
This is great defense. Look at that surge by the line. Everybody low. Quarterback sneak can't even pick up half a yard.
It seemed to me that Andrzejewski stepped back for a second rather than just taking the snap and moving forward, and that may have caused the difference between a first down and turning the ball over on the punt. Schwalbe with the punt. Jordan from the 35, and he is wrapped up as he gets to the 44-yard line. 35-yard punt, 10-yard return. The ball came free at the end, and Columbia is saying they have it. And the Fordham Rams say, no, we still have the ball. And let's see what the officials decide as the pile clears. And it's going to be Fordham Ram football. So they take over, trailing by 9. 12:06 to go in the ball game.
That's a good job by Jordan. His job is to get that ball for the offense. And there's some hard hitting going out there, and it's difficult, I think, with the ball being wet and the weather the way it is today, to hang on to that thing. And he did it. He picked up a couple yards on the way, too.
Fordham's last win came on October 12th of last year. They defeated Harvard 14-7 here at Jack Coffey Field. Columbia's last win last year against Pennsylvania, they won by a score of 20-14. Each looking to snap 7-game losing streaks. Coleman eludes the rush. And now, as the coverage is strong, he has to tuck it under, and he is snowed under. Then a short gain on the play, but Pullman looking to throw, but again, the secondary has been very effective in its coverage.
He's very elusive, Pullman. It's a play-action pass. He rolls out to the opposite side of the play action, sets himself. He's got Worthman right in his face. He breaks a tackle by Worthman and manages to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Down by 9 when you know Fordham's going to throw. How effective is play action?
Well,
Pullman will throw here, and it's tipped. Beautiful interception by Brenders as he tipped the ball in the air, and the junior from Brooks Park, Ohio, comes up with and Columbia takes over at midfield. A very pretty play by the outside linebacker.
Brenders makes a great catch here. He just knocks the ball down with his hand and then cradles it in. Knocks it down, cradles it in. That's a great play. Stop the Fordham drive.
5 turnovers this afternoon for the Rams. 1st and 10 for the Lions. A little over 11 minutes remaining in this game. Columbia leading by 9. And Andrzejewski will keep it himself. And he gets down to the 41-yard line. We have not seen much of his athletic ability, but he does have that talent. He can run the ball, and that's another weapon in this offensive arsenal.
He just put his shoulder down at the end of this play and gets an extra yard. That's not like a quarterback. But I guess he's the next special teamer, so here we go. Boom! 2 yards.
Remember, we told you that last week Columbia had a net of 13 yards rushing. They wanted to get a running game established today. They've rushed the ball for 77 yards, and they almost turned the ball over there. Robinson having trouble with the handoff, but he falls on it, and Columbia maintains possession.
fisticuffs going on. Here we got a replay. Fumbles the ball, manages to fall on top of it.
Andrzejewski had to reach a little bit to Robinson. And he never really had the ball. 3rd down and 3. Pressure, looking to set up the screen, and Andrzejewski just throws the ball away. John Klosek was near it, so no flag, but he was under tremendous pressure, and that is a familiar position for the junior signal caller.
John Clarkson on afterwards. Before him, it was Kurt Geisler.
So a punt as Schwabe comes on again. Jordan back deep. And a new man back there, that's Sean Mackey. Jordan and Mackey back to receive the punt. High punt, short one. Fair catch signaled for by Mackey at the 20-yard line, a 23-yard punt. And I wonder if Schwabe knew that that was the new man, because he sent it right to the fresh jersey. If he picked it up, it was a pretty astute move on his part.
Well, I like to see that they're giving Tom Garlick a rest. This guy's been doing a lot of things. He's been returning kickoffs. He's been returning punts. He's been catching passes all day long on a muddy field. Now, muddy field, you're going to get tired easier because your feet dig in more, and it can tire out your calves sometimes. So let's have this guy fresh for this offensive series and see if he can't put some points on the board.
He's on the field with Potamusa split to the left of the line. 7 catches for Garlick this afternoon for 57 yards. Pullman hands the ball off to Scott Helverson. Helverson, who scored the lone touchdown for Fordham in the 3rd quarter. A 7-yard run that brought Fordham within 3. And he has been the workhorse from the running back spot. Came into the game as the leading rusher. Picked up 2 on that play. 11 carries, 35 yards for Helverson. In the opener, he had a big game against Lehigh, rushing for 90 yards, held to just 11 last week. Helverson comes in motion. Rolling out that way is Pullman. He is under pressure, and he's brought down.
Just can't get it off. He's looking for Garlick deep downfield. Got to credit the Columbia defense.
Blindside pressure applied by Gary Kasperzak. A long way. That's the distance that Fordham must travel to score a touchdown. If they go for 2, it would bring them within 1, and we go back to the missed extra point following their lone touchdown this afternoon. It could be critical. They've got to get the first down, though, on 3rd and long. Again, Pullman under pressure. This time he's able to elude the rush. And now the sophomore's going to try to run it. And Rick Brenders comes up from the linebacker spot, and after a 3-yard pickup, he brings Pullman down, so it'll be 4th and 10. And once again, a punting situation for the Fordham Rams, and now the clock becoming the critical factor, as we will shortly be under 8 minutes to go.
You have to give Columbia credit. The defensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage.
Setting up for a block. They've got 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Munt, the only man back. He's at the 45. Montenegro's punt handled at the 40 by Munt. Crosses midfield and gets to the 47-yard line. 40-yard punt, 13-yard return. And now Columbia can think about being a little conservative. 7:40 to go in the ball game, leading by 9. Hold on to the ball if you're
I would
Columbia.
suspect that they would begin to run the ball now, but you don't know. I mean, they haven't been conservative all game long. I'm very impressed with their offensive attack, with their game plan. Who knows? That they could do anything.
Well, they sent 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. And they're going to go to the air once again. And a beautiful diving catch made out in the flat by Mike Sardo, the senior from Bethpage, New York.
This is what's been keeping the Fordham defense guessing all day. You just don't know what Columbia is going to come with. 4 wide receivers, 3 wide receivers. Any kind of look they'll give you. This is a great catch, too. Who's that catching the ball?
That's Sardo, his 5th catch of the afternoon. He caught 4 last year against Fordham, has 5. And Andrzejewski, every time he throws the ball, he is popped. He's an awfully tough kid, absolutely. And that is the one thing that the coaches have talked about, that he gets popped and he comes back for the next play.
That's important for your offense to see that, too. They have to see that your quarterback's a tough guy. They have to see that he can't be intimidated. He can be hit and come back. That lifts your offense right up.
I'm sure Chad would prefer not to have to display that talent on a regular basis, but you're right. The offense is lifted when they see the toughness in the quarterback. Scott Spivey has come in as the lone receiver to the left-hand side. 3 receivers to the right. And the ball is incomplete through the hands of Ken Hayes, almost intercepted.
Again, Andrzejewski getting up off the ground. He got hit again on that play. Here we go. We can see it. Rolls to the right. Knows he's going to get hit. He knows he's going to get hit there. Still lets it go. Gets hit by 2 guys.
The quarterback's jersey's not supposed to be that dirty, even on a muddy day like today. Joe Gambardella, the defensive coordinator, yelling something from the sideline. Schwalbe's punt almost blocked. Mackey has it at the 15. Mackey dancing up to the 25-yard line, but now Fordham's got to do something. They're down by 9, time running out, a little over 6 minutes to go in the game. They've got to put the ball up in the air, and in his first series in place of Conrad O'Lear, John Pullman looked pretty good, but since then it's been a struggle, and Fordham looking for the answer.
Well,
down by 9.
Fordham's offensive line is just going to have to protect for Pullman. There's no way he can throw the ball if he's got people in his face. They've got to get tough here. They've got to just keep the people out.
He completed his first 3 passes. He's 0 for 5 since that point. 3 for 8 overall for 23 yards. Here's a completion to Garlick, who spins away, runs up the sideline, then pushed out of bounds across the 35-yard line, so the clock stops. 6:07 to go.
This Pullman can play. You give him protection, he completes the pass. That was nice protection that time.
Well, there was a big battle in the spring for the #1 quarterback spot. Gary Brennan graduated. They had to find a replacement. O'Lear won the battle, but there may be a battle on. If Pullman can do something here, practice could be very interesting this week.
Can see it developing.
O'Lear, the senior, was replaced in the 3rd quarter after throwing an interception. Garlick on a short pattern, wrapped up and brought down. Derek McNeese dropping Garlick at the 40-yard line.
This is just a short little stop pattern. Doesn't look like much, but it's very effective. It uplifts your offense. It's a completion. He only got 3 or 4 yards on it, but now it's 2nd and 6, and you're in good position.
Straight back to pass. Pullman looking for Garlick. He's got him across midfield inside the 45-yard line. It's a 1st down for Fordham.
Nice protection again. Delivers it right there to him. Goes down with the ball, catches the low ball. He came off the field, Garlick, now. I don't know if he's a little bit tired, maybe, from all the returning he's done and the receiving.
Seemed a little shaken up after the play, too. I'm sure he'll be back after this play. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Pullman incomplete for Harris. Harris was open near the 40-yard line, but he threw the ball low. And now Garlick comes back into the game, and it'll be Harris checking out. Garlick, with that last catch, by the way, has become the all-time leader here in Fordham in career reception yardage. He's already the career leader in number of catches, but now he's the #1 guy in yardage on the receiving end, and he receives a warm round of applause from the fans here at Jack Coffey Field. He joins John Potamoussis out on the right side. 2nd and 10. Ball is tipped, and it's intercepted by Brenders. Brenders might go all the way. He's at the 30. Garlick tracking him down and brings him down inside the 20-yard line. A flag thrown, now another one thrown well after the play and well behind the play. but Brenders with the interception. He brings it back a long way, and Columbia has the ball.
Columbia's defensive line has been getting their hands in the air all day long, and this is another tipped ball that's intercepted. You got to give them a lot of credit. They've been coached well to raise their hands. We get a tipped ball. You don't see it here, but the ball comes end over end to Garlick halfway there.
And Brenders rumbles down the sideline.
There it is. There's the tip. Who tipped that?
Didn't pick up who tipped it. 42 yards, though, on the return. And the penalty against Columbia, as so often happens when the defense becomes offense, there was a clip on the play. Garlick coming a long way back to make the stop. I thought when Brenders got to the 35, he was going to go all the way, but Garlick showing a big burst of speed brought him down. The penalty moves it back to the 42-yard line.
That whole play was made by the tip ball, though. We gotta find out who did that.
Flag thrown. Yeah, the guys who get the interception and the return get all the credit, but somebody had to tip it.
The guy who got the interception, that was the easy job. It fell right into his hands. He was going back into coverage. The guy who stuck his hand up there and knocked the ball down, he should get the credit.
Looking back through the Columbia media guide, if I read it correctly, the last time Columbia won a game outside of the Ivy League was back in 1980. Here's a look at that interception.
Who is that? Looks like the left defensive end.
Well, that would have been Sean Nichols then.
Well, give Nichols the credit then for making that interception.
Until we hear otherwise, that sounds fair.
Play.
Columbia keeping the ball on the ground, the clock in their favor, the scoreboard in their favor. They lead by 9, 18-9 with under 5 minutes to go. Back in 1980, Columbia went 1-9 and they beat Lafayette in the second game of the season, the last out of Ivy League win for the Lions.
That was Nichols, excuse me. Who made the tip on that ball.
Second down and short. Movement and then a flag thrown. Fordham showing blitz, and I think a Columbia lineman moved a little soon in anticipation. So the clock stops 4:19 to go, and on the false start, it will cost the Lions 5 yards. While we have the opportunity, I want to thank Joe Favorito and Joe Del Balso of the Fordham Sports Information Office, Bill Steinman, the Columbia Sports Information Director, and the respective athletic directors, Dr. John Reeves at Columbia and Frank McLaughlin here at Fordham. On second down, Columbia stays with that one-back look, and somebody didn't know the snap count. And I think the only man who didn't know was the center, because everybody else moved, and
very uncharacteristic.
Matt Cassio held on to the ball.
Very uncharacteristic of Columbia here.
Two. No. It's on one. Trust us. It's one. So
they've been virtually flawless on offense, I thought, this afternoon, and the last two plays have been uncharacteristic.
Second down and 12 on the 5-yard mark-off. Ball just inside the 45-yard line. 3:45 to go in the ball game. Columbia hoping to snap a 7-game losing streak. If Fordham does lose, it would be their 8th straight. They would start the year at 0-3. Andrzejewski's going to keep it.
This kid
and the clock continues to run, though he went out of bounds. I'm sorry. He was brought down, though, inbounds, so the clock continues to run. A very
this kid looks
factor.
like a running back, not a quarterback. He lowers his shoulder every time he carries the ball. No fear.
Ray Tellier in his 4th year, hoping to pick up just his 4th win, but the program, he believes, is turning the corner. There are many who have yet to be convinced, but this win will help them become believers. Under 3 minutes to go. Ray's not going to rest until that win is recorded as official. On 3rd and 2, stopped on the play is Kyle Branham. Aaron Doherty, the defensive end out of Northampton, New Hampshire, makes the stop.
This is a nice play, but you need more than that now. You got to be going for that ball at this point, at that point in time in the game. If you stand a guy up, one guy stands him up, the other guy goes for the ball. Fordham needs the ball.
Jamie Schwalbe will punt, standing at the 49. Fordham setting up for a block. 2:20 and counting to go. Jordan, the lone man, back to receive the punt at the 10-yard line. Good, high, soft punt. Jordan handles it at the 15 and is brought down right there. Tackle on the play made by Alberto Marconi. And Marconi getting the job done on special teams. And Fordham's got a long way to go. And Fordham goes back to the starting quarterback, Conrad O'Lear. O'Lear replacing Pullman with 2:08 to go in the game and his team down by 9. .85 yards to go for a score. Even if they're successful on 2, they'll be down by a point. And O'Lear falls after handling the snap. The way he went down, he might have got his foot caught up on one of the offensive linemen and tripped. He clearly tripped. How it came about, I don't know, but...
Well, there's a sense of urgency now on the Fordham team, and they're trying to do everything as fast as they can, and it leads to mistakes. O'Lear just trips and falls.
5-yard loss on the play. It's 2nd and 15, under 2 minutes to go. Garlick can hold on along the sideline. And those short patterns are nice if you've got more time. But time is the ally of Columbia. 1:35 to go in the game.
Yeah, when you need 2 scores with 1:35 left, you got to start airing that thing out.
O'Lear now 12 for 26 for 139 yards. For Fordham, they stay at home. Next week they host the University of Pennsylvania. That's a 1 o'clock start here at Jack Coffey Field. Long downfield, and it's almost intercepted by Danny Kale.
That's the right type of play for this time in the game, though. You got to be going downfield with that ball. Patamousas just runs a post. Nice defensive play there. Danny Kale.
Montenegro back to punt, standing in his end zone. Munt set to receive it at the 46. Low snap, but he handles it. Munt at the 45 and is wrapped up almost immediately and brought down on the play by Mike Costanzo, a reserve outside linebacker. So 120 is all that separates Columbia from its first win of the 1992 season, and the Lions would snap a 7-game losing streak. Next on tap for Columbia. Next week they're at home against Bucknell. Or correction, excuse me, against Colgate. 2 weeks from now, they have Bucknell. They play their first 4 games in New York, 3 at home, and of course this game here in the Bronx. And Ray Tellier said it was very important for us to get off to a good start if we're going to attain that 5-win goal. Robinson on the handoff, hit behind the line of scrimmage. Quick timeout called by Fordham. They'll have 1 more remaining. He felt that if his team could not turn things around, I'm speaking of Tellier now as we look at Larry Glick, whose club apparently will fall to 0-3. He felt that they couldn't turn it around while they were basically at home, not having to travel except for this game, and it was a short bus trip. If they were 1-3 or 0-4, that it would have been virtually impossible for this team to believe in itself and get people rallied around the program. But this is an important first step. They stay out of the Ivy League as they play Colgate and Bucknell from the Patriot League the next 2 weeks. And they feel that if they can put another win, or perhaps 2 wins, in the next 2 weeks on the board, well, then things look bright and people will finally believe that this program has come around.
Got to give Columbia a lot of credit today. They had a very imaginative offensive plan, and they really confused Fordham's defense all day long. And they never got conservative all game. Until this point right here, they've run, but they've been throwing the ball all day on first down.
Fordham can stop the clock 1 more time. Andrzejewski hit behind the line of scrimmage by Clarkson, and Fordham will stop the clock 1 more time. It'll be 3rd down and long, 1:05 remaining in the game.
I don't like to see Andrzejewski do that this late in the game, though. They've got the game in hand now, and there's your starting quarterback. He's a very valuable member of your team. Hand it off to one of your running backs with all the pads on. Let them take the abuse at the end of the game. Let Andrzejewski live for another day. Good player.
Last year, Larry Glick celebrated his 50th birthday with the victory over Columbia. There will be no celebration today, but there will be in that man's household. Although he realizes what remains ahead for Columbia. But when a program has been used to nothing but the negative, 4 years they went without a win. Only 5 wins in the last 4 years. He realizes that one win is not a headline maker, but he thinks he's got the foundation going. He thinks he's got it built. He's had back-to-back good recruiting classes, and when a coach takes off the headset, they know it's over.
It's over. Well, I was very impressed with Columbia today.
They really spread things out. They put Fordham on their heels right away, and they didn't let that early turnover and the 3-point deficit off the Hagen field goal bother them. They came right back, scored on the Greenfield 3-yard reception, and they haven't been headed.
A lot of poise. They came into this game very well prepared.
After a bad week of offensive practice, they look very effective indeed. They'll let that clock run down near the 1 second mark. In fact, they may even take a penalty, but it would be wiser to snap it at 1, 2 seconds, 1. And in fact, they do take the penalty. They would have used up a little more clock if they had snapped it at 1, but nonetheless, only 28 seconds remain. They'll just force Schwalbe back a few more yards. Delay of game, 5-yard penalty. Life in Division I AA not easy, as the Fordham Rams are finding out. A very successful Division III program, but now in their 4th year at 1 AA, finding it a bit of a struggle. Fair catch signaled for by Jordan. 21 seconds left.
Jordan Fields at the 30.
After the game, Gary Sussman will be speaking with that man there, Ray Tellier. Came to Columbia from the University of Rochester, where in his final 2 years they went 17-4.
It's a pretty good record.
He was an assistant at a number of places prior to going to Rochester and being the head coach, and now in his 4th year at Columbia. We're also going to try to get Des Worthman to spend some time with Gary Sussman, so you'll want to stay tuned for that as Gary speaks with the great middle linebacker, and we were not disappointed by Worthman's performance, nor Blażewski's.
No, they both performed up to par. Of course, Des Worthman had that interception for a touchdown, which is going to make his night, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Well, if you go back to the 3 points that we made at the beginning of the game, keys to Columbia's success today, playing a physical game. They played a more of a finesse game, but against a physical team, they had to do something, and that was what they did. They found a running game, and they kept it to a low-scoring game.
They were very physical on the line of scrimmage today. Their defensive line put a lot of pressure on Fordham's quarterbacks all day long, both Pullman and O'Lear.
Intercepted by Kevin Robinson with 7 seconds remaining, and now a little how do you do, and that's the wrong place to be if you got a white jersey and a Columbia blue helmet on. Yeah. Little pushing and shoving, now flags thrown. You know what it is? Columbia just doesn't know the Bronx that well, and the guys on Fordham are telling them where some of the landmarks are. The New York Botanical Gardens, the Bronx Zoo. Just want to let them know how they can get there. It's going to cost somebody. Well, it may be offsetting. Personal foul against Columbia. Yeah, that might be the only one. So it'll cost them a few yards for that travel information. But they'll come away with the win. 7 seconds remaining in the game. 18-9 the score.
A little frustration on the Fordham sideline. They came into this game expecting to win. They really thought they had a good chance against Columbia, and they got surprised, as I think a lot of us did, at how strong Columbia was and how well prepared they were today.
Well, Columbia with something to build on for next week, and Fordham's got to go back to work. it is difficult, and Fordham's getting to that point of the season where it's very critical. Do you lose the kids for the entire season? 0-3. They've got to start doubting themselves, I'm sure. There's a point in the season when they might not be able to bring them back. Larry Glick is hoping they haven't reached that point and is hoping they can right the ship next week. Fordham can't stop the clock. And Jajewski steps down and kneels down, and that'll do it. The Columbia Lions snap a 7-game losing streak and win their first game outside of the Ivy League since 1980 as they defeat the Fordham Rams here at Jack Coffey Field by an 18-9 score. A tough day all around for the Fordham Rams.
Yeah, they've got their heads down a little bit, but they'll live for another day, the Rams. They ran into a tough opponent today. The Columbia team was just too well prepared for them, offensively especially. Their defense was confused. Nobody knew what play they were going to run on first down. They reverses, everything. They threw everything at them today, and they surprised them.
Before the game, Ray Tellier was concerned with the conditions of the field, with the rain, with the wind. He said, we're going to have to option these guys, spread them out, 3 and 4 receivers. The weather is just not going to help us. Well, he got a break. It stopped raining. The wind died down. The field was in pretty good shape considering all of the rain that we had. And lo and behold, he's able to execute that offense to perfection. And his team comes away with the win, 18-9 over the Fordham Rams, showing that there's no hard feelings after that last to-do. The team shaking hands at midfield. Fordham back to the drawing board next week. Columbia takes the win with them. And next week, it'll be Colgate over at Baker Field at Wayne Stadium. And Gary Sussman has 2 very happy men with him. Gary?
Thank you very much, Matt. And with me, head coach Ray Tellier and outstanding linebacker Des Worthman. First of all, Coach, congratulations on a hard-fought but well-earned victory.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll take it after what we've been through. We'll take it any way we can get it.
Now, you may not know this, but this is the first time that Columbia has been 500 since 1980 when they beat Lafayette 6-0. So an early win on the board for Columbia this year.
Well, yeah, that's behind us, and hopefully we'll be above 500 soon.
Now, when you talked about cautious optimism before the season began and you looked at the schedule, this had to be one of the games that went under that cautiously optimistic category.
Yeah, I think Fordham's a team that's a lot like us. They've struggled to win. They've improved. They've played everyone tough on their schedule, and we knew it would be a 4-quarter game, but it was a game that we need to win. We're going to play people as good or better as the year goes on.
And not enough credit can go to your defense led by this man on my left, Des Worthman. They were just outstanding. No sustained drives by Fordham, both scores after fumbles.
I don't think there was sustained drives by anybody in the second half. I don't think we made a first down, but that was as fine a defensive effort as we've had, and I know in our 4 years here. And if you look at the difference on the scoreboard, our defense scored 9 points, and we won by 9.
Thank you very much. Good luck the rest of the season. And standing with me, Des Worthman. Des, first of all, congratulations. I want to talk about that 76-yard interception. You had to be the most surprised man in the field because O'Lear was on his way down.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to throw it, but he had a tendency to throw it. And I mean, during the day, he was kind of throwing, he was kind of grounding the ball, so I just kind of went with him. And then, as you see, just kind of last-ditch effort right there. And it was off, basically.
And luckily for you, it was a nice soft toss, because even though you were surprised...
if it were a fast one, I don't know if I would have caught that.
Talk to me a little bit about this Columbia team. There was a nice write-up about you in the Daily News last week, and your intensity and your desire to lead this team away from the reputation that has preceded the Columbia Lions.
I don't like to lose, and so that's been my trait throughout my 4 years here at Columbia. I mean, granted, we've had losing seasons, but this is, I think, mentally a tougher team, physically a tougher team, and I just think, our defense came out today and showed that.
Well, you're 500. Congratulations, and good luck the rest of the season. Des Worthman, a superb ball game, 9 tackles, 4 solo, a 76-yard interception. He played an outstanding ball game. He'd like to go to the NFL, only time will tell, but he certainly is leading Columbia on the right track for 1992. Back upstairs to Matt Lockwood.
Thank you very much, Gary. The hard work of Ray Tellier and his staff and his team paying off in the victory this afternoon as they win their first game of 1992, defeating the Fordham Rams by a score of 18-9. Don't go away. We have more from Jack Coffey Field right after this.
Fordham football has been brought to you by U.S. Air. U.S. Air begins with you. By Silvestri Carpets, exclusive distributor of the Ashley Carpet Collection. By Marriott, proudly serving Fordham for over 10 years. By the Fordham University Bookstore.
We know how hard you work. We'll work that hard for you. We believe in putting people first in everything we do. Every time we fly, every mile of sky, everything we do. USA, USA begins with you.
Outside this old world just keeps on.
Randy Travis, he's the best.
Still the real things are
What a
found.
voice.
Hello. It's when you found the real thing.
Think he's as cute in person? Uh-huh. What I wouldn't give to meet a guy like him. Hey, Julie, want to ring up this Coca-Cola Classic?
Think you can't beat the real thing.
1988.
30 million jobs in the next 8 years.
1990, America's jobless rate hits a 3-year high.
I'm not prepared to say we're in recession.
March 1992, jobless rate hits 6-year high.
The economy is strengthening.
George Bush vetoes unemployment compensation.
The economy continues to grow.
July 1992, unemployment is the highest in 8 years. If George Bush doesn't understand the problem, how can he solve it? We can't afford 4 more years.
He led the dream team to gold in Barcelona. Now, Chuck Daly's on a new mission to guide Derek Coleman and the Nets to glory in the NBA. Winning the gold for the United States was his miracle on ice. Next for Herb Brooks, leading the Devils to their ultimate goal. With 4 Stanley Cups, Al Armour has cornered the market on silver. Can he mold the young Islanders into a new dynasty? Daly, Brooks, and Armour, a winning strategy. This fall, only on Sports Channel.
Success comes from planning, on the field and off. If your financial program isn't giving you the security or the success you're looking for, you need a better plan, one that's tailored to your objectives, your resources. To see what a difference the right plan can make, call Ira Sussman Associates at 1-800-468-3797. That's 1-800-468-3797. Columbia gets on the winning side of the ledger in 1992 with the 18-9 win over the Fordham Rams. Matt Laughlin and Kurt Sohn back at Jack Coffey Field. And Kurt, your impressions of this Columbia Lion performance?
Well, I just think Columbia was the better team today, and they showed it in their defensive line play. They put pressure on the Fordham quarterback all day long. And I also think they had a very imaginative offense today. Despite being a wet and nasty day out there, they managed to move the ball with no problem, throw, run reverses, pretty much do whatever they wanted to do today.
Des Werthman talked about the increased strength and size of this team. It's something that was very evident today, and the word may now finally get around to the rest of their opponents that this is a different Columbia team. You're going to have to be ready, unlike past years, perhaps.
This is a tough Columbia team. I was very impressed today, especially with Des Werthman. I mean, anybody who intercepts a pass and runs it back for a touchdown is okay by me. He played a great game. Columbia just beat Fordham today in every aspect of the game, I have to say. They didn't run it up on them, but convincingly they won today.
That was the first interception return in 16 years, by the way, for the Columbia Lions, as Werthman's interception return sparks them to the victory as they win this afternoon here at Jack Coffey Field. That'll wrap up our coverage. Once again, the final score, Columbia 18, Fordham 9. Remember, Monday at 5, the Mets take on the Phillies in a twilight doubleheader at Shea Stadium. And Tuesday at 8 p.m. on Classic Contests, relive the magic of the Islanders' 3rd straight Stanley Cup in 1982. That's Tuesday at 8 p.m. On Friday, local college football continues on Sports Channel as Hofstra battles Rhode Island at 7:30 p.m. I'm Matt Laughlin for Kurt Sohn and Gary Sussman saying so long, and thanks for watching college football on Sports Channel.